And we are live on a lousy Thursday night, October 29th, 2020. Mr. Kirkpatrick, there he is.
We're back for another night. Rain just stopped here in Maryland, so you guys are gonna have another couple hours of
Oh
it.
my God, it's terrible today.
One of those
Horrible.
nasty coastal storms. I have off until Saturday,
I have off
and
until I
my
have
days off.
off.
The nursing hours off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and of course it rained yesterday and it rained today. So what what else is there to do but to join the Wits and Wagers K&K Sports Show, right?
That's it. That's it. And you listen live on Facebook, live on the I-95 Sports Network, live on Twitter, live on YouTube, and let's get going, man. Big sports weekend. I got a couple good games of my
Yeah,
teams this weekend.
back to the real quick. We're Wits and Wages, but props to the Dodgers, whoever bet on them for the World Series.
Yes, sir.
They were the chalk, but they were the best team. So, with baseball, you don't get the heavy chalk. So it was worth that wager.
Mm-hmm.
So props to everyone who had the Dodgers, and
Yes, sir.
props to the Dodgers themselves.
Yes, sir.
Rays were a nice little underdog story. Would have been a nice hit for people if the Rays would have won. But congrats to everybody who had the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you know what? Best team all year long. They
They
really
were.
were.
You
They
know
really
what?
were.
Not to get into baseball, it was funny. Like they changed things around this year, and this is something we need to talk on our Wednesday show. But 8 teams in each league made it to the playoffs, and the top seed made it. And you don't get that every
No, you don't.
when it's a normal season. The wild card teams are making it to the World Series, so it's something they may want to look into the future of expanding those playoffs because I liked it. I
Yeah, I
like
did too. I did
you
too.
know I did like it.
The only thing, I mean, did it water it down like, with the extra wild card teams where, like a team again like the Yankees, they were always going to be in it. Maybe a little bit, but again, those series were exciting. The playoffs, every playoff series, the best of three, like you're on edge in those games.
Well, I'm gonna say I hope they do something with the 8 and going forward. You have like all star. You have your all star game at a stadium like they did this year. They were in California and Texas. Well, maybe next year you're in Florida and New York. And you do it that way. And you know what? If you say, oh well, what if you can't have it in New York because the Yankees are going to be there. Well, you know what? That's part of the deal. Super
Yeah,
Bowl plays their games, and you know what? If Tampa Bay makes it to the Super Bowl this year, they're playing at home.
right. No, that's
So
that's the way it is. I mean, that's it.
I think it's something to look forward to in the future, but that's something we can get to on a future one of our shows
Okay.
to talk about.
All right, so where do you want to begin tonight? Well, Travis is going to be coming on. We're going to be joined by Travis, maybe possibly our guy Johnny Beelan, of course Carson Shear coming in the 7 o'clock hour, and
Yeah, we'll give Travis a minute or two, see if he wants to come in. Me and you can start off with breakouts and busts for the week.
okay.
Uh, I got a breakout quarterback. Breakout quarterback was Joe Burrow.
Oh, you're
Fantasy
saying you're going last week?
last week. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, this was last week. We'll talk about last week's recap. Joe Burrow, my breakout. I mean, you can go Baker Mayfield too, but Joe Burrow, you had him on your team. You were winning. You were winning next last week. That's for
Now
sure.
you're just going quarterback because if I'm going to go regular, receivers. I mean, Tyler Lockett was just insane. He absolutely helped, Hoopsy last week.
Yep.
Yeah, Burrow was over 400 yards. Another guy that broke out last week. I
You can
mean,
go Mayfield. You can go the same game,
yeah,
but
I
I
mean,
know.
I guess we're gonna have to go. You know what? I'm gonna go Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Brady finally broke out last week.
Yep.
4 touchdowns, almost 400 yards. Like almost the old Tom Brady. So
Absolutely. And then the opposite side, bust. I got Pat Mahomes. Fantasy wise, he's not putting up the numbers for your fantasy guys. That's why I tell everybody my draft strategy. You know, do not draft Pat Mahomes. Do not draft Lamar Jackson, because if they're beating up on teams, you're not going to get the.
Yeah.
If to have a quarterback, you're going to want to get 40 points a
But
game. If
you know
you
what
can't
though?
guarantee me 40 points a game, I'm not taking Pat Mahomes or Lamar Jackson until the fifth round.
But in
That's
Mahomes' defense though, the last two games he was in a rainstorm against Buffalo and then in a snowstorm against Denver. So
right. They as a bust as a fantasy football player, obviously not in real.
right. I'm saying as a fantasy though,
Yes.
that they're going to run that ball. And you know what? You've seen this where, again, not that he is not that he's a bust, because obviously we've got to be crazy to say he's a bust. But the thing is that remember, defensive now, and Briggsy always said this: the smartest people in the room are defensive coordinators. Are they learning to play him a little bit by saying no more big plays over the top? You're going to go down the field 12 to 15 play drives. We're going to let you run the ball, but you will not be quick strike. What do you think?
Absolutely, 100% agree.
So,
Yeah, and I mean, they got the Jets this week. That if he doesn't put up 3 touchdowns in the first half, you're gonna
he's
have
not
another
right.
mediocre fantasy effort from him,
Right.
because they're gonna run the ball, run the ball, run the ball.
You know what it is
Let's
though,
talk-
Kenny, real quick, getting back to the quarterbacks though, but this year seems like, I think last year, people had Kirk Cousins and like the Garoppolos, and I think this year you're gonna have, like, when you're in a 10-man team, 10 to 12 team draft and league, you got your 12 guys. Like Josh Allen's a solidified starter. I think even maybe Joe Burrow now. Matt Ryan,
Yep,
Aaron Rodgers, Watson. Those guys are Tom Brady. Those guys are going to play every week.
I was just gonna say, in our K&K Sports Show League, I'm
Kyler Murray.
5-2, and I'm in second place points wise. I'm record wise, I'm tied for first, and my quarterbacks are Matt Ryan and Ben Roethlisberger.
Right.
I'm not taking that quarterback early in the draft, because I want to fill out my running backs and wide receivers.
But what I'm saying is Matt Ryan and Roethlisberger, both of those guys, like, if those are the only quarterbacks you have on your team, you could play them week in, week out. It's not like I got to sit Ryan this week. Like, you don't, either way, you're not like, oh my God, I got to get somebody. I can't play Matt Ryan. Like, you're going to play Matt Ryan every week. He's going to put up numbers. Their defense is so bad. They do have the nice offense. He's going to put up points. Same thing with Big Ben.
The strategy, and then we'll have a future show, obviously, on draft strategies. Draft strategy is pick up a quarterback in the late rounds who has a good offense, who has weapons. Matt Ryan has Ridley, Julio Jones. He's got Todd Gurley as a running back. He's got Hayden Hurst as a tight end. Ben Roethlisberger, we know what he's got. Claypool, Deontay.
I will say this though. I will say this, and I agree with your strategy. But in my Carney league, I was after one quarterback this year, and I wanted all along was Kyler Murray. And I'm just going to read you Kyler Murray's points for me for this year. And I took him in the 4th round, okay? 29, 34, 27, 28, 32, 32, 46. So, would you consider 4th round early?
No.
Okay.
I'm considering 1st or 2nd round early.
Okay, because I did read.
Third round, maybe 3rd round too, because I want to get at least 2 wide receivers. I want 3 skill positions. I want a running back, wide receiver, tight end. Any one of those combinations in the first 3. I want 3 skill positions. Then I'll go get my quarterback. And Kyler Murray's there. That's your guy. You take him. I was okay. Kyler Murray went in our draft. I was okay passing on, I had the skill position guys I had in our draft were on the board. I took
right. See, now I'll tell you this: like Kyler Murray, I'm saying if he continues this year, he's going to be a borderline 1 and 2. Like he might be going 1st and 2nd round tomorrow.
What you need to do in your drafts, everybody listening, what you need to do in your drafts is, if you're in a 10-team league, let's just say you're in a 10-team league, rank your quarterbacks and look at your number 10 ranking and be like, if I have the 10th ranked quarterback out of this list, am I okay with that if I fill out my other skill positions?
Right.
Mine was Matt Ryan, and I was okay with that.
See,
I was
again,
okay with
I
having
like.
Matt Ryan on my team, so I didn't pick him up until the 10th or 11th round.
Okay, I like that. But what I did 2 years ago, I said I did Kirk Cousins and Jimmy Garoppolo, and every week I was flip flopping. Who I don't like that. I want a starter and I want my backup. Like Kyler Murray is going to play for me every week except this week. I picked up Carson Wentz. But Kyler Murray is my guy. I don't like when I start getting who should I play because then I feel like I don't. If you have two, you don't have any. I feel like that. I don't know. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I could see what you're saying about the two. You want to definitely have you definitely want to have a good backup quarterback.
Right, but I'm saying backup, but like number one, like 2 years ago, every week I was like, should it be Garoppolo or should it be Cousins? It was like I didn't have any starter. It was like they were both there, and I'm telling you that I got like I was so good everywhere else, and I was getting outscored 15 to 20 every week from the quarterback spot because I was went Garoppolo. Cousins had a big week. Cousins had nothing. So that's why I was like, you know what? I want my quarterback. I wanted Kyler Murray, and I'm rolling with him. I don't care who
Well,
they play.
that's why I was saying your quarterback rankings are huge. Rank your quarterbacks.
Let me ask you something.
Everybody
Kyler
rank-
Murray. Kyler Murray. The best defense in football is who? Pittsburgh, would you say?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
say
If Arizona plays Pittsburgh, I'm still playing Kyler Murray. No, there's no. I don't care. I'm not going to look at I don't want to look at matchups with quarterbacks. That's my guy. Unless there's a bye, then I'm putting him in. That's the only way. Honestly, that's how I've been successful. When I do it the other way, I'm never successful. Never.
See, I am successful the other way because I go with the anywhere from like I said, Matt Ryan was my 10th ranked quarterback this year. So everybody in our league picked up their quarterbacks. Matt Ryan was sitting there. Now I came right back. If you remember in our draft, I drafted two quarterbacks back to back, and I had the second pick in the draft. So I came right back with Big Ben. And because they're so close to each other, I didn't want to drop off and have everybody else pick up their second quarterback before I had mine. And I got 10 and 20 now,
Okay.
as opposed to what I do have is 10 and 11 as my ranking.
Right.
And it's working out for me. If Matt Ryan or Ben got hurt, I got the other guy to go with all year. But I've been going more like 60-40 Matt Ryan. I'm going Matt Ryan this week against Carolina. Ben's got Baltimore. I think they're going to struggle a little bit. We'll see.
Hey, listen to this comment. Our guy, Jason Zangara, saying Brady with the little goats. Hashtag he is the system. You know what, Jason? I'm going to say this. I've been wrong this year. And what did I say, Kenny? Who was on my MVP list last night?
The GOAT.
I have Brady as my number one or two candidate right now for MVP. So very impressive. And you know what? That and I'll tell you the thing that helps is that defense is nasty in Tampa Bay.
Well,
nasty.
That's the thing, Jason. I've been saying it all year. I think they're really good, and I think they got a chance to go to the Super Bowl. My other pick bombed out, but I did have Tampa Bay. And I said Tampa Bay is a sneaky, sneaky defense. Last year, they were a top 10 defense.
And what else are they doing, Kenny? Running the ball. Ronald Jones.
Ronald Jones involved.
They're running that ball. And you know what? Now Brady Brady had a big game like last week. What was he? He was, he threw the ball 45 times. But it's setting it up where it's becoming that, again, it's that 2015 Bronco team where run the rock. And you know what? Now Brady could do his thing. So we're joined.
Look at this commitment in the car. Johnny Beelan just joined us.
What's going on, Mr. B? How are you?
Does it sound okay or is it echoing?
No, it's pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good. You're a little flipped. If you could flip the phone, you would be a little bigger, but that's okay.
Johnny, we're just chatting with Jason through the comments about Brady. Kurt was wrong about Brady, and I know you've been all on Brady all year. Brady's been your guy.
No, listen, I put him, guys. I put him in my MVP talk last night. But John,
Jason, we're talking about fantasy football. This is the guy who took Tom Brady in our draft.
I did. I did. But Beelan, let me ask you something. You know what? They are, and we were saying this. The difference is they do have a good defense, and I'm telling you, they're running the ball too, man. So, that's going to help.
It's literally a Patriots system just with a whole lot better players.
Right. He hasn't had this much talent.
No.
He had Randy Moss, but
Jason's listening. This is a great question, Jason. I think the debate is finally over.
Yeah. Listen,
Brady,
until
Brady or
retires,
Belichick. Brady or Belichick. Is the debate over?
Brady made Belichick, man. I don't care what anybody says.
I agree.
I don't care what anybody says.
I'm only going to say this, and this is why, again, we can get into this all night, but 1990, to me, and it's your boys, Kenny, but 1990, come on, we watched football. I mean, we're older than you, Beelan, but Kenny, we were watching football. We were in high school, and we never saw anything like the Buffalo Bills cake on offense. All right, how are you gonna stop it? Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, Don Beebe, Kelly. Oh my God! And you know what? Belichick stopped that. He did. So, Mark saying, "Hello, guys. Kurt, you have to come to the game on Saturday morning, 11 o'clock at home. It's for the number 1 seeded for the division. So, might have to make a stop."
Mark, you better reach out to the high school coaches to have them start recruiting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think that program's a little down the last couple of years, right, Fairlawn?
Yeah, their coach actually just went to St. Mary's, who's been down too. But Beelan, let's get to this fantasy football. We had we were saying breakout quarterbacks last week. Kenny picked Burrow, and I went with Brady finally had a breakout game. Anybody else besides those two guys? Baker we threw out too. Baker had
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, yeah, that's a good
my
one.
Bust, John, my bust on fantasy was Mahomes. He didn't put up the numbers.
But
he's not a just as a fantasy quarterback. And that's when you're just talking about strategies. That's why I do not pick Pat Mahomes or Lamar Jackson.
Listen, I was actually debating in one of my leagues to not start Tyreek Hill because of the cold and potentially it was going to snow a lot. So I was kind of like, I know he's Tyreek Hill, but at the end of the day, you got to think about fantasy football,
right?
And and listen, at the end of the day, too, like I feel like I started him anyways, but I feel like I got lucky, and because at the end of the game, it was the fourth quarter, he caught that pass, he ran it in, he scored a touchdown. So instead of having like 7 points, I had 16 points.
Yeah, and you know this too, Beelan. We were saying and again, no, not that it's there's no excuse. Listen, and again, you'd never put the word Mahomes at bust, but fantasy wise, 2 weeks ago they played Buffalo on a Monday night, and it was rainy. It was bad weather, rain. Last week they go to Denver and snow. That happens. It happens. By the way, Will's saying, Kenny, we're bringing up bad memories talking of the 1990 Super Bowl 25.
Well, maybe at 8:30 I'll have to go in there and mess with them a little bit.
Yeah, mess with the Bills.
Real quick, let's move to running backs. I had 2 breakout running backs. One I picked up in my league. Jamal Williams filled in great for Aaron Jones. Mm-hmm. And the other one's Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, that was mine, Antonio Gibson.
Those are the obvious ones, in my opinion. Anybody else catch your eyes?
Actually, he wasn't crazy breakout, but I hopefully he plays a lot more, and maybe this week because the Eagles are going into the bye, but Boston Scott.
Yeah.
It wasn't a crazy breakout, but it wasn't something I wasn't super expecting either. I thought they were going to go a lot more passing. And they stayed with the run, and he's solid. I think Miles Sanders is probably going to sit out this week too, just because there's a bye week. There's no reason to rush him in, especially in that division. So, hopefully he gets another lick. It's the same thing like tonight too, like Mike Davis tonight. It's probably going to be his last really big lick. McCaffrey coming back. So we'll see.
Beelan, I got a fantasy question for Beelan. I got
two.
one
more breakout, Kurt.
Okay.
And then DeAndre Swift. He's 2 weeks in a row. He's been looking good.
Yeah.
Carson's guy. I'd like to hear his thoughts at 7:00 on DeAndre Swift. But go ahead, Kurt. Ask your fantasy question.
I have 2 quick questions. Beelan, going forward, I lost Beckham now, as obviously I lost Beckham for the year. So I had I had 2 of Petro's boys. McLaurin has been my flex, and I've had Gibson on the bench. Going forward, again, it's the Redskins. Can I use McLaurin? Obviously now has to become my receiver too, behind Tyreek Hill. But on the flex going forward, is it all right to go 2 Redskins?
Oh, I mean, listen, Gibson should be a starter every week, man. I'm
going to have my running. Well, here's the thing: my running backs going forward are going to be McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook. So
yeah.
I'm going to have the 1 flex spot. Should it be Gibson and go with the 2 Redskins?
Yeah, I would do it. I mean, it also depends on who they're playing. You're not gonna, you might not want to put Gibson against the
Bears.
Maybe a Bears
Pittsburgh.
or a Ravens defense. Yeah. So you got it's every week. It's gonna be a little bit here and there. I mean, there's a couple of people. I mean, I picked them up already in our league, but Nelson Aguilar is a nice pickup for people. Higgins now for the Browns, who's going to be basically taking OBJ spot.
Yeah.
The past couple of weeks, he's been
Yeah, I missed out on him. I didn't want to. I didn't want to use a waiver on him, but I think Jim picked him up. Okay, and one more question for you, Jermichael Hasty from the 49ers. They're very injured. Wilson got injured. McKinnon hasn't played that much. What's his name? Coleman's not back yet, and obviously Mostert's out. Hasty against Seattle. Seattle's defense has been having problems. Would you flex him this week?
If Jamal Adams might be back this week. If he is out, I would flex him. If he's in, I wouldn't.
Okay.
But Hasty, he runs with authority. This kid, if you watch some of I'm not saying tape because it's not like I'm going back to the games, but all the highlights and everything, bro, this kid can run, man.
Okay, and one more thing in that game, and Kenny, I got a question for you too, but Beelan, one more in that game, I also picked up Carlos Hyde. So if I had to pick a guy there, Hasty or Hyde in that game, who do you go as my flex?
Hasty, and the only reason why I say it is just because Carlos Hyde has a hamstring injury. So their other backup third string, Dallas, whatever his name is.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. Yep.
I picked him up in my leagues to have because they're saying Carlos Hyde might not play this week either.
But now Pete Carroll's saying it's not a major.
Let me tell you what I did. Coleman, watch out for Coleman is all I got to say. He's coming back. I know he might take some carries from Hasty. He may take some carries away from Hasty. I picked up because I'm playing Bobby Blackjack in our fantasy league, and he has Chris Carson, and he slept, and he's got LaMichael Pirine in his lineup now. He slept on Carlos Hyde and Dallas. So what did I do? I blocked him. I picked up Carlos Hyde and Dallas, so he can't have either one of them.
Good.
You know what? It's a strategy. It's a strategy.
No, it is.
So you know what? Dallas might be the guy this week. Watch out there. If you got spots, pick them both up.
And okay.
Yeah, and listen, and this is real quick. I mean, this is where, like, I say this all the time, where these weeks 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, where depth comes into so much more importance because you're starting to see injuries, you're starting to see people not play. This is where it is. It's a lot of people want to have somebody play the whole year, but at the end of the day, I mean, these guys get banged up every week, man. So depth is huge in fantasy football. Huge.
And Kenny, I got a question.
If this guy's come. I'm taking wager right now since we're the Wits and Wagers show. Travis is going to be joining us from the car or from home.
Well, where else is he going to come
home.
from? You're asking one or the other. I'm going home.
I'm going to say he's at home. Yeah, I'm going to say he's at home.
With a Steelers shirt on. With a Steelers
shirt on. It's a rainy day.
And
there it is.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
There you go. Kenny, real quick, Travis, before I get to you. Kenny, Sterling Shepard I picked up. Do you like him against Tampa Bay Monday night? Can I play him this week? I'm down receiver, so honestly.
What are your other options?
My only other option for receiver this week is either him or Jerry Jeudy.
Is Nelson Aguilar available or no?
He is, but I don't want to cut. I mean, I might cut Devontae Freeman because he's not playing again, right?
I mean,
Aguilar is available, Beelan.
he looked good against
Man,
Philly.
listen. At the end of the day, think about it this way: you got Derek Carr or Daniel Jones throwing.
And I think both games. I think the Giants are going to be in a shootout because Tampa's going to score. So
Don't forget, Coach Kurt. Aguilar is going up against Derek Ward against the Browns, and that's a tough matchup for him. So I think that's a Waller game.
by the way, Travis,
like
your
Shepard because I
your
think the
microphone
Bucs are gonna
sounds
stop
like
Slade.
money. That
Thanks,
mic
Coach
sounds
Kurt.
like money.
Go with Shepard. He might get you 6-7 catches,
Right.
60-70 yards.
14-point game. You can't
And
complain.
he's a
If he scores
touchdown,
it's a 20
touchdown guy. In the red zone, Jones is going to look for him.
By the way, congratulations, Travis, on that exciting victory last week. But I'm going to say this, Beelan, ready? I sent you a text a couple weeks ago, and I said, remember when I had the college football? I hit 9 out of 10 with the team totals. You know what burned me last week? When what's his name? Who's the kicker from Tennessee? Gaskowski missed it because their team total was 26. What was the final score? 27-24.
Yeah.
So
Dude, it's.
I got a. How about?
I don't know how he's not released yet, honestly.
I think this one's easy. Bust the running back, Zeke.
yeah,
I like it.
he was
Anybody else?
terrible
Really?
last week.
Any other
I'm
than
gonna
top
say-
running backs? A big bust.
I'm going to
Ronald
say
Jones, maybe, but he ain't a top. Maybe Ronald Jones because they gave the ball to Fournette.
I'm going to say
I was counting on Ronald Jones.
I'm going to say McKinnon.
Yeah, McKinnon did nothing. Well, they held him out, kind of. They didn't play him that much.
I know it hurt me.
Didn't play him at
time.
all.
How about breakout wide receivers? We'll pick this up a little bit so we can get into our other
Just
little-
going to say this, though, because I know I mentioned this last week. Mr. Travis Henry, only 75 yards last week against that Pittsburgh defense. No 140 yards last week.
Told you.
3.8 a carry.
They were down pretty much the whole game. So.
Replacement is playing better than Devin Bush. Ryan Spielman, I think his name is.
Yeah, you got to go game flow there, though, too. Like John said, they were down big the whole first half. You took them out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Breakout wide receiver, guys. Mine is Travis's guy, Deontay Johnson.
Oh, I like it. He's gonna play. He's gonna play against the Ravens.
Baller. I like him. He's on my team.
I'm gonna go with two guys. I'm gonna go Beelan's guy, which I should have picked up. Stupid, Rashard Higgins from Cleveland. And what about Cole Beasley, man? Guy gets no respect. Beelan, let me ask something. Would you play if? All right. So my guys were Sterling Shepard, Jerry Jeudy. You said Aguilar or Cole Beasley.
Me personally, man, I think Aguilar has the highest ceiling. I know, people saying Ward, whatever, but I think the Giants are going to get shut out on Monday night. And Derek Carr, no one's been stopping Derek Carr right now. This guy's been thrown all over the field, and he's played tough defenses so far this year. And Aguilar, for the past 3 weeks, has been crushing it. And he's getting you like 7 receptions, at least 100 yards, and he's scored every past 3 games.
Right. And guys, I know you'll both agree with me. Kurt, don't let past scare you. Aguilar was nothing on the Eagles, but now he's with a new team. Don't let the name scare you.
Remember
Scare you.
And remember who his head coach is.
Doug Peterson.
That's a great point. It's a great point.
He goes to the hot hand, right? So, what happened to Josh Jacobs this whole year? Josh Jacobs, the first couple of games, everyone was all hot on him. You haven't heard Josh Jacobs' name all the rest of the year, right?
Yeah.
You're not hearing anybody over there. So Derek Carr's, I'm telling you, man, Derek Carr's underrated this year. He's been underrated his whole career, but he's just, he's got a little bit more talent around him. He's got speed around him now.
And you got to figure Cleveland's going to score, so it's going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah.
You're going to figure.
Great.
So.
My bust wide receivers, the Dallas trio. It's simple.
Completely
Cooper,
agree.
Lamb, and Gallup. Gallup shut out. Lamb had 10 yards or 1 yard or something like that, and Cooper did nothing. But I know the quarterback situation there, but definitely fantasy busts in my opinion. All three of them.
Listen, I've been seeing a lot of people trading for Coopers and stuff like that. You never Jerry Jones is shifty, man. You never know what this guy can do. He might come out of nowhere and snag one of like a top 10 quarterback out of nowhere. He's like, who cares?
Next Romo.
Joking aside, I'm the Atlanta GM. I want to, they all got fired. I want to change I want to draft for the future. Jerry, we'll give you Matt Ryan. Let's work out a deal.
Kenny, you know what? You just mentioned it. Shefty was on tonight in SportsCenter or whatever, NFL Live, and he said next year Matt Ryan will not be an Atlanta Falcon.
No.
So,
but I really do, and I say
quarterback for you, Kurt.
Listen, I say I don't know why Jerry Jones is not pulling trigger on this, but Jameis Winston is the perfect trade bait for him right now. The perfect trade bait.
The problem is, though, but I'm saying, here's the thing, though, because I agree with you, but the Saints are in a position of, we want a 1, we want a 2. Are you really going to give up a second round pick?
No. You're not going to get that for him. You're going to get maybe like a third or fourth round pick. And honestly, to be honest with you, it's not bad because how many go to your team, the Broncos, every year for the past couple of years, third round, fourth round pick. Are there guys still around?
Right, no,
Are they
you're
still
right.
doing anything?
You're right. Third, but not second. I can't do a second.
No. They're going to do – the Saints did what the Jets did
with
Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah, the same thing. They signed Teddy Bridgewater. I think Bridgewater kind of already knew, like, his situation. So, sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Sorry. He already knew his situation. And then, things come down, other things happen. I think Winston's the same thing. Like, why would you sign with the Saints knowing that Drew Brees never gets hurt? Rarely, right? And if it is, it's like a game or two. And you're going to play backup the whole year. So it only makes sense that they were probably either going to use him as trade bait or, he might be the future.
Right, and you know what? But you know what? They paid Hill a decent amount of money. I think they like Hill. I do. I think they like.
I throw a name out there.
Sure.
This is a curveball because he has not played well the last couple of weeks. This is a total curveball. Cam Newton.
No.
No.
There's only a couple of QBs that make sense. Plus, you also got to think that there's a salary cap too. So you can't go out. I know Cam doesn't have a high salary, but he has all them incentives. So at the end of the day, the incentives also carry on to your salary. It's not like like a bonus because that'll go into next year's cap too.
Honestly, their best bet is, again, like a Fitzpatrick, what's his name, Tyrod Taylor, because those guys don't have, like Billy's saying, they don't have big money. Yeah, but here's the thing, here's the problem with Sam Darnold. The Jets aren't just going to give Sam Darnold away. So it's going to cost you a second-round pick. If you get a second-round pick for him, then you better commit to Sam Darnold if you're the Cowboys.
So that's what I'm saying. So, like, I'm sure they had conversations in their meetings where they were like, hey, are we really going to sign Dak Prescott? If they're all in on Dak Prescott,
then you're not going to make that.
You're not going to make the trade. But, are they willing to, listen, they got all their guys locked up. So it's not like, next year their team's going to basically be the same. So it's not anything like a crazy, crazy rush. But if you were over Dak Prescott and you wanted to go with Sam Darnold, give up a second-round pick. I mean, it is what it is,
Right.
I don't know.
Travis, I got a fantasy question. I got a fantasy question for Travis because now a couple weeks in a row, your boy Mr. Claypool has put up not great numbers.
Last week
on a fantasy. Yeah, but he didn't. On a fantasy level, where is he? He's not a receiver 1, right? He's not a WR1 in the fantasy world.
He's a boomer bust wide receiver 3. That's where you have to put him at right now. He's a guy almost like a Will Fuller a couple years ago that'll break out a 40-50 burger and then put up a dud.
Right.
It reminds me of that right now. But right now he's the Steelers' leading receiver, not by much. They have a lot of mouths to feed there. Deontay Johnson's is back, but he does get hurt. Right now he has a toe injury. He says he's going to play. I think I like the matchup against Baltimore. To me, they're going to really shut down Baltimore's defense. They're going to shut down the first two options. I think Claypool has a good game. Don't forget, last week, most of the coverage he faced was against Malcolm Butler. He never faced that coverage before against the number one corner. So that really introduced him big time to the league. But, I think he's going to get better. Watch him be a fantasy producer for the playoffs, though.
Okay.
John, you should be passing out our cards. I see you're in Target, I believe.
He should be.
Yeah, hold on one second.
I was just in Target a couple days ago.
He should be.
Should be handing the cards out over there. But the problem with Claypool, in my opinion, fantasy-wise, if Deontay Johnson's not playing, Claypool's
100%. He boosts up to a wide receiver, high wide receiver too.
10 floors on a high rise.
Yeah.
That's how high his ceiling is.
Mm-hmm.
But with Deontay Johnson there, Deontay Johnson's that 10-story high rise.
Yep.
Deontay Johnson is a stud. And
Yep.
Travis has been saying it all year. He was my sneaky pick in our draft, and he's panned out for me. I just need the guy to stay healthy. That's the only problem. I shake every week thinking he's going to get hurt because he's that type of receiver. One big hit, he's out,
Yep.
Speaking about injuries, I'm in a little bit of a dilemma in one league. Half my team's hurt. My first two picks, Michael Thomas and Miles Sanders.
He practiced today, though, Travis.
Who did?
Thomas.
Thomas did practice.
They
That's
said he
huge.
retired. They said he returned to practice today.
Because I was trying to trade. I have Mark Andrews and Hayden Hurst, and I'm trying to trade away Andrews for a top tier receiver. Like I took this trade finder. I synced my league to this one app, and it said the one guy trade for Tyler Lockett, Mark Andrews for Tyler Lockett. And then I'm looking at Keenan Allen. I think he's a great buy low candidate right now.
Get your guy Deontay if he's there.
I have Deontay.
You have Deontay.
I have Deontay and Claypool.
Wait, so what's your dilemma?
My dilemma is that my first top two picks are hurt, and I'm 3-4.
See, to me, I think Michael Thomas isn't hurt. There's something going on because you do something the week prior to it with your teammate, and then all of a sudden now you're hurt with a hamstring injury. It doesn't make any sense to me, man.
It doesn't make any sense.
Make an offer for one of the Falcon guys. You probably could for Ridley.
The problem with the Falcons guys is that Ridley's
then you
value
got
is so high.
Hurst.
But the thing is that Ridley's value is so high right now because of how he's playing, and Julio Jones, even though his production's not there, people are still holding his value high.
Just got traded in my league. Calvin really just got moved the week ago.
Here's my
Devin
sleeper
Montgomery
guy for you. Tyler Boyd, you might be able to get for Mark Andrews. And Burrow, AJ Green's going to get traded. Boyd's going to be the guy there with Higgins.
But I think Boyd is their guy already.
I think that's
Boyd
I think
is the guy.
that's
I'm
too-
saying AJ
that's,
Green's done over there. Boyd might be a sneaky.
Oh,
I think that's buying too much, though. That's a little overpaying for Boyd.
Beelan, by the way, Will Cologne, our guy, Will Cologne, Viva Los Bills is saying, I agree with you on Michael Thomas.
yeah, it's something's fishy, man. There's and Michael Thomas is one of those guys. He's got an ego.
Mhm.
You know, he goes out there. I'm the best receiver in the league. Da 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 da. You know,
They're all divas.
he's catching heat to be like a diva. You know, you can start seeing it. You know, it's like he got paid, and now it's just like, you know, okay, whatever. Oh, I steal it.
Let's do tight end.
Don't you have to worry about it.
We'll do our top players.
Okay.
I don't
Tight
care about that
ends.
stuff.
Brock was my breakout. I don't know. You know, I think he's going to continue to break out this week against the Giants, and I think going forward, he's finally catching the rhythm.
Okay.
My bust is the Giants, Evan Ingram. That's simple.
Guy has so much potential, man. It's crazy.
He's gonna get. I'm hoping they trade him, John. And
They're not trade, but I read it said they're
Nah,
not. They're
they're
not
not.
trading him.
You know why they're not going to trade him? Because of his salary, man. His salary is super low, and to them, it doesn't make any sense.
Right. What are you going to find?
You ever
for
see
that?
a tight end get the end arounds like receivers? They should transition him to a wide receiver.
Ingram.
He gets the end. Ran it 3 times against the Eagles. Do you ever see a tight end like that? So make him a receiver if you're using him like that.
Yeah, but he's the one that dropped the ball, right? He catches the ball, they win that game.
Yeah, they win that game easily.
I mean, that's a great ball by Danny Dimes. You know, you got to win that game.
The thing was right in his bread
Danny
basket.
Dimes on that one, but I can blame Danny Dimes for fumbling the ball once again.
Yeah.
You know,
and not being able to score on that breakout run. Getting tackled by the turf monster.
Touchdown on that. They at least scored a touchdown.
They did score a touchdown on that.
I am officially done with the fumbling. It's 2 years now almost. I'm done.
The fumble? No, listen, there's not a worse fumble in the world than the butt fumble from Mark Sanchez. So listen, you Giants guys are very lucky.
I was there live that night. I was there live. Thanksgiving night versus New England. Yes, it was.
Not to put more rain on the rain you're having in New Jersey for John.
Oh man.
There's a little rumor going around on ESPN that Trevor Lawrence may stay a senior year.
That's how bad the Jets are.
You know what? I'm going to say that. I'll say this, Kenny. There's no way he's going to stay. I think if anything, if he really does, he's going to pull. I don't want to go to the Jets, but I mean, if he doesn't go to the Jets, where does he think he's going to go? You know, and you know what? The whole Jets
and you know what?
The Jets are going to be cleared out. They said this, Beeler. They were saying if the Jets they draft Trevor Lawrence, they were saying, and they trade Darnold. They were saying something like they're going to have 4 picks in like.
Imagine what you're going to get for Trevor Lawrence. And you know what though? If they do that, they're going to get somewhat of a higher pick. And I'll be okay with Justin Fields. I know a lot of people don't like him, but he's the second best quarterback in the draft.
I was just going to say, John, you know what I do? Jacksonville. Jacksonville wants him.
Or you want him?
You want him? This is what you're going to have to give us. And Jacksonville is a good team for a few years.
Yep.
You're going to get some good high first-round picks. If
you know what I do? You know what I do with Trevor Lawrence? You draft him and let him sit the bench for 5 years. I guarantee you won't do that.
Oh, you know what? You're right, Bailey. See, here's the thing. You cannot not draft him. Like you're saying, you draft him, and what do you want? What do you want, Jacksonville? Because like you're saying, so wait, Trevor Lawrence, you don't want to play. You're just going to sit and rot for 5 years? Because I'm not letting you go to New England because you want. No way. You want to go to New England? No. I want 4 number ones, New England. Do something crazy like that, like you're saying. But draft them.
You know, but you know what I don't understand about that whole like draft, like trading to in division. Because if I traded Trevor Lawrence, let's say to what I don't know, let's say the Ravens, whatever, the Ravens could just trade him to
New
the
England
Patriots if they wanted to. So at the end of the day, like the whole I'm not going to trade him in division. It's stupid. Like I never understood that. It's just like, okay, you see him twice a year. You're still going to see him once a year.
Right.
Well, you're going to twice a year. Come on.
You can honestly see, and I would have never thought of this, but you can honestly see somewhat of a real life draft day movie scenario next year in the draft.
I don't know. I think
where the Jets pass up on Lawrence, but the Jets trade for draft picks, and then what do the Jets need the most? A wide receiver? You're going to give me one of your top receivers for Trevor Lawrence.
There's no way the Jets are not going to draft Trevor Lawrence. It's not going to happen.
Oh,
no way. It's not going to happen. I don't care who's coaching them. If they have the number 1 pick, the Jets are taking Trevor Lawrence. Listen, it happened when they missed on Marino.
100%.
They not missed on Peyton Manning, but he went back to school. This guy is, I'm telling you, the highest prospect probably since Peyton Manning. If the Jets have the number 1 pick, they're taking Trevor Lawrence.
I want to ask this question to John, and then I'll get Travis and you. I know what your answer is going to be, Kurt, but I want John's answer. I'm the Jacksonville general manager. John, I'm going to give you 2 number 1 picks. We have the number 2 pick. So you get in the number 2 pick. I want Trevor Lawrence. What is it going to take? Will it take 2 number 1s? And what do you need? You probably need a wide receiver more than anybody. Which wide receiver do you want? You're going to ask for DJ Chark, right? I got to do it if I want Trevor Lawrence. So John's getting.
But I don't even think he's that good, though. Like, if this is the thing with Trevor Lawrence, man, and I'll go back to
how about the running back? Would you want the running back?
James Robinson?
I'll give you one of my offensive guys, maybe even an offensive lineman.
This is what I would do. You draft them. You either get a top-notch wide receiver. I don't know. I'm just throwing a name out there. A Julio Jones, because he's going to be disgruntled if Matt Ryan leaves or whatever. You go out there and get him. Or you do what the Chiefs did. Trevor Lawrence is going to be huge. And you either get a bunch of fast guys that can go around them and try to work that way. I mean, the Chiefs blueprint is like ideal, especially for a guy like Trevor Lawrence. Is like, I mean, how can you not?
What are you doing, Travis? Are you going for Trevor Lawrence, or are you going to try and trade him away?
You know what? A guy like Trevor Lawrence, we haven't seen since good old Andrew Luck. What, 8 years ago?
Yeah.
The can't miss prospect. So hyped. I'll bring up another name. Coach Kurt knows him very well. John Elway. The can't miss prospect. Let me tell you something right now. Jets got the number 1 pick on the board. Trevor Lawrence has officially declared for the draft in February, okay, or January, wherever they declare. He's going to pull a John Elway. The cards is going to be in his hand, not the Jets. Because let me tell you something, the Jets, their organization's in shambles. How many head coaches have they been through in the past 10 years? Too many. Jaguars, Doug Marone's going to be gone after this year. If they get rid of Chark, they have nobody. Their organization's in shambles. So if he declares for the draft, he's going to say no to the Jets. He might do a double no with both teams and just either hold out or do something, because you know what? He has the power. He's going to control his own destiny.
And listen, just to add on to that, I think honestly the first thing the Jets need to do is get a new head coach. I don't even think it's about worrying about drafting Trevor Lawrence. I think it's getting a new head coach, because without that, who knows? Like, would you want to go there if Adam Gase is still there? No. So, maybe you throw the hammer at Dabo and say, "Hey, Dabo."
Right. Beelan, you hit it right on the head, because I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. And you know what? You like you don't do this for Justin Fields. You don't do this for Joe Burrow. But just like Travis said, they don't come around again. Elway, Manning, Andrew Luck, and now Trevor Lawrence. You might have to go and say, "Hey, Trev, who do you want to be your head coach?" You might have to do that. You might. And if he says, "I want Dabo," all right, we're going to give you Dabo. You want, I don't know, Kyle Shanahan, whoever you want, we're going to get him, because like Travis said, that team is in so much turmoil. Can you imagine the media? Can you imagine the media if they have the number 1 pick and he turns around and says, "I'm not going there"? Like, it would be the biggest New York story. This is crazy. Listen, because I'm a diehard Knicks fan. You guys know that. And they said the Knicks have got out of the spotlight because the Jets are overtaking them. You know how hard that is to do because the Knicks are so bad?
So you want to hear something? So I read this, and I don't know if it's true. I'm trying to dig more into this. So it's a little bit different now because of how the CBA did everything with contracts. But if the Jets draft him with the first pick and they decide later on to trade him, let's say to the 10th overall that they get, whoever they pick, he doesn't get that first overall contract.
Guys, we got a couple fantasy questions from Sam
He'll get the
Bill.
10th overall contract.
Real quick, Beelan and Travis. Travis, you answer it, then I'll go to Beelan. Do I start Davis or Todd Gurley? I'm assuming he's saying Mike Davis. So Davis or Todd Gurley? What do you think?
Tonight. This is tonight. I'm going Gurley.
Mike Davis.
I'm going Gurley. I'm playing against Gurley, but I'm gonna go Gurley because I think Gurley's the safer pick. I think they're gonna be playing with a lead. That's what I'm
I'll
saying.
just go real quick and say I got both of them going tonight. So you can't go wrong with either one. But I do like Gurley. I agree.
Mike Davis is on the downtrend. He had a bad past couple of weeks.
Who you got, John?
going
Brian Snow saying Mike Davis will get 200 tonight.
Yeah.
So
Possibility.
that
Mike Davis.
defense is bad. Tom Casey saying you guys got Atlanta. What do you think? That's
I'm going with Mike Davis tonight. It's his last game before McCaffrey comes back.
I'm a little
Trade, could be trade bait.
I'm a little disappointed in
You want him, John? I got them both.
Are you making a deal? Deal
Well,
right on the show?
Actually, I made the trade with Coach. I made the trade with Coach Gurley and Allen Robinson for Kamara, and Bobby Blackjack's complaining that
that's a horrible trade.
But in my defense, Coach Sick is 0-7, and he has no wide receivers. So I gave him 2 starters as opposed to only having 1 starter. He's getting more points now from those 2 guys.
That he would with just Kamara.
That's why the trade was allowed, Bobby Blackjack, if you're listening. He's getting a number 1 receiver and Gurley, who's been putting up close to 20 a game, if not more than 20.
Brian Snow is saying Carolina will get 400 yards of offense, and I'll talk about it tomorrow on Snowman in the morning. So
here's my question. Hayden Hurst, I got 2 tight ends, Hayden Hurst and Mark Andrews. Do I start both, or do I just start Andrews and play a flex?
I like Andrews.
I
You like
Andrews.
just the Andrews pick and bench Hayden Hurst.
I don't like. I'm gonna be. I don't like tight ends as flexes. I really don't. You know what? The tight ends this year, when you really think about it, it's so like even Hoops was saying, who should it's so hard. I still can't find a tight end in one league. I got Jimmy Graham. I got Gesicki. That's Travis's boy. I got Hooper from Cleveland. It's like Schultz from. I can't find anything. Sam.
Top 5 tight ends.
Guys, here's another question.
Watch out for Hayden Hurst, though, Travis. You might want to put him in your flex.
All right, guys, how about this?
Eric Cook did really good last week against Carolina.
Guys, real quick, Beelan and Travis, again, you're our guy. So this is Sam Bill again, who was asking, do I start Mike Davis or Todd Gurley? He's now asking, or do I play Gurley and Mike Davis and sit Zeke Elliott? A lot of people are down on Zeke Elliott.
That is a good move. Game script, 3rd string quarterback. I'm telling you, I know Zeke has the volume, but you got 3 at least RB2s. And you know what? Game script wise, I like Davis and Gurley.
You know what? You would never think that somebody would get to the point where you have to sit Zeke Elliott, but you might, because you can't put up 2-3 points like you're saying.
Start all 3.
Yeah, you can do that.
Their offense.
Put them in the flex.
It's so bad.
Here's my solution for
Sam?
on this. Mike Davis last week playing before McCaffrey comes back. Zeke down. Try and throw them in a package for 1 top tier running back.
Who's his wide receiver?
Dalvin Cook, maybe, who's coming back from injury. Dalvin Cook for Zeke.
See if
Davis.
Probably go for Connor too.
See if he'll reply to that. And say
Aaron Jones, who's hurt, but he'll be back. You might be able to squeeze that out. For
Sam, the panel.
Edwards-Helaire.
Sam, the panel wants to know who your wide receivers are. That's a good question. That'll see, exactly. But it's just amazing because Zeke's a top 5 pick in every draft this year. He doesn't fall below 5. And, now with their starting quarterback out and how bad, Dalton's played and their defense, it's just, like you're saying, he's a volume guy. He's saying, this is why he's asking his questions. He's loaded. He's got Julio Jones, Hopkins, Tyreek, and Robbie Anderson.
Oh my God.
So
What kind of league is he in? I want to join that next year.
Ryan,
That's loaded receivers right there.
afford to sit Zeke.
Oh
18
my
league.
God.
Ryan, you can afford to sit Zeke.
Mhm.
Sit Zeke this week and go with the other
Yeah,
two
I would.
guys.
I would
Hands
sit
100%.
Zeke this week if he could.
There are a lot
10-man
of guys playing
10-man
on
league.
Thursday night.
10-man loaded league.
10 men. How do you get those 3 receivers alone?
And Zeke.
And
You got to see
and
Mike in
Zeke.
that 8-man league.
We could have made some trades.
I don't even want to ask who his quarterback is.
Who's your quarterback, Sam?
Probably like if he says Pat Mahomes,
I'm gonna say Matt
gonna
Ryan.
wild
If he says like Kyler Murray,
Lamar Jackson.
just give him the
Russell
trophy, or
Wilson.
Lamar Jackson. Yeah.
Who's he drafted with? Your brother, Kurt?
He's saying
Listen.
Russell Wilson. He's got to be. He can't. He's joking.
You got Russell Wilson, right?
way.
He's got to be.
No
busted.
You're gonna
way.
win the chip.
He's got to be.
If you don't win the
No
chip,
way.
just give up. Like you did a major screw up. Like start Mike, what's his name, over Aaron Jones, like I did last year.
He's got to be busting with us. There's no way he can have this.
There's no way he's got
We're gonna
that
be
roster.
wrapping up fantasy in about 5 minutes to go into our wagering part.
Okay.
Trav, if you wanna hang around. You came on late tonight. If you want to hang around, you're more than welcome to.
Talking bets.
Oh, we're talking bets. Of course, we're talking bets.
I like talking bets. I could talk some bets.
We got bets. So we got some fun stuff in the second hour. But we got a couple more minutes to finish up on fantasy. Give me a sleeper. This was off agenda. Give me a sleeper guy who you think can have a breakout week this week. Because Brian just had the questions about Mike Davis. Anybody out there that can have a monster game that you would consider sitting one of your studs for?
Nelson Aguilar.
Who are you sitting for
I don't care.
him? You got somebody, Kurt?
Any position or?
Anybody, like somebody that you like, oh, I think I'm gonna take a shot. I got a hunch on this guy this week.
Well, I don't got a hunch. I'm desperate, but I'm gonna go with Hasty from San Fran. I heard 2 people last week before I got desperate and had to get these guys and start getting these guys. But
I'll give you my hunch.
I'm gonna go
I
Hasty.
give you my hunch. My hunch is going to be Cole Beasley over either Robert Woods or Devontae Parker. I'm not sure which one of them two I'm sitting yet, but I'm going Cole Beasley over one of those two guys.
Yes.
I think Sam's joking with us because he's saying he's got Russell Wilson, Devin Singletary, Chase Edmonds, Tyler Lockett, Chris Carson, and he's saying he's 4-3. He said he swears that's his team, and he's 4-3.
What?
couple bad beats.
4-3 with that roster? What?
I want proof. We got to see proof of his team.
Brian, you come on each week with us, and we'll hopefully help you stay undefeated. We're all telling you, Gurley and Davis tonight. Sit Zeke with those
We
wide
should
receivers.
have finished 11-3. Or
Hey,
3-3.
let me
And
ask,
try to trade Zeke and Davis for a stud receiver.
Kenny, let me ask you guys this. The whole Le'Veon Bell facing the Jets factor. You think Andy Reid kind of gives him a couple things this week and
100%.
lets him go a little bit?
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to be bringing in Carson Shear, Kurt.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then-
Kurt, they're gonna let him go because they're gonna be beating him by 40 points, so they have to play him.
Think it's going to get that? Like, what's up, Carson?
How's it going, fellas? How we doing?
What's going on?
Screen. Need to make that a blue screen. Those Lions are hot.
Carson, how about those Lions, baby?
Let's go, man.
There it
Oh,
is.
man. I was listening to the game on the
Finally,
radio.
You got a running back.
We're just
Yeah,
finishing up our fantasy football hour. A couple of our audience members had some questions.
Okay.
Carson,
Well,
I just have to.
Let me just
Yeah,
ask you this.
Ask Carson the question with Brian Snowhead, Kurt.
Well, let me ask Carson this first most important question. How were you, honestly, how were you about 3:30 last Saturday, 4 o'clock?
Rutgers, baby, let's go.
How were you? Seriously.
You know, it's a damn shame that Michigan State is now the new Rutgers of the Big Ten. I mean, that is like the lowest of the low that you can get. I lost my voice after the game because I was so irritated. It was unbelievable. Unless Rutgers is legit, which I don't think they are. I think we just plain out suck. We're going to get annihilated Saturday. It's not even going to be pretty.
Well, we're gonna make those picks
There's
in a
one
couple
other team that
minutes.
looks really bad, Carson. And I'm curious. I don't know if they play each other this year. Michigan State and Maryland look bad.
Okay.
Maryland is like a 20-point underdog to Minnesota, who got blown out by Michigan.
Okay, gotcha.
And I think they got blown out by Northwestern of all teams week one. Yeah, real quick, Kurt. We'll give Carson that question, and then we'll go into Big Ten review in the second hour. Brian Snow, one of our audience members, had a question. He has a dilemma tonight. He has Todd Gurley, Mike Davis, and Zeke. Would you consider sitting Zeke Elliott? But who are his receivers? Julio Jones.
No, it was Sam. Sam's asking the question.
Oh, Sam.
He's
Sorry,
asking.
Sam.
He's saying, do I start Mike Davis or Todd Gurley tonight? He also has Zeke Elliott, or he's saying, does he play all three or sit Zeke? Because he's saying he's got Julio, Hopkins, Tyreek, and Robbie Anderson.
Holy wow, that's a hell of a team. Holy smokes.
Yeah, we thought it was a two-person league, but it's a 10-team league.
Oh, okay.
And Sam's asking if he has Instagram. We do have Instagram. It's the K&K Sports Show at the K&K Sports Show. So on Instagram. So he said he wants to show us that is his team.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I have mixed feelings about Todd Gurley right now. I mean, he's my favorite running back right now because he basically won the Lions the game. But I think he's the safer pick. You could go Mike Davis, but I think it's a win-win regardless of what you do there. If it was me, I would sit Zeke and play Mike Davis and Gurley. That would be my opinion.
So,
all right. So, how about second hour? That concludes the fantasy football hour.
Now we get to the picks, baby. We get to the
Carson
picks.
Shear from Carson Claus and Ticket Time has joined us. Welcome again, Carson, our Big Ten guru, Michigan State finest, and it's going to give us a little recap. Yep. Michigan State. You don't have to talk about them, but Ohio State, good. What you think about Ohio State? We'll start with them.
You know what? Nebraska held their own with them for the first half, but I think we were talking about this last week too. I mean, we both all kind of said that, once the second half got underway, they would just blow them out of the water, and sure enough, that's what they did. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, Ohio State's going to win the Big Ten. So they're the front runners in my eyes right now.
Nice. And what about Penn State getting upset by Indiana? That was a great game.
Yeah, that was a great game. That was a controversial call at the very end there, but props to Indiana for holding their ground. That's a big win for Indiana.
Nice. Kurt, guys, you want to throw one out at him?
The game that surprised a lot of people. I heard Northwestern. They were terrible on offense a year ago, but they exploded, and now they're saying that they can be 2-0. I'm not sure. I believe they play. Did they play Maryland again, or did they beat Maryland?
Iowa. I think
they play Iowa. So they could be a surprising 2-0. What do you think of Northwestern?
Yeah. I mean, the Big Ten's kind of up in the air right now. They're. I mean, for God's sakes, Rutgers beat Michigan State last week. So I mean, I don't know if that's saying much for Rutgers at all. I don't think it is because we are, god awful. But I've always liked Northwestern's head coach. I forgot his name. But, he's
Fitzgerald.
been there forever. Yeah, Fitzgerald. I think he's a great coach.
By the way, we're getting a hello everyone and hello Carson from the Queen of Claws.
Hey, what's up, Queen of Claws? How you doing?
Hey, Queen. Welcome again. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I think Northwestern's a sleeper in the Big Ten. I'm going to go with them for like a sleeper team this year.
And then last but not least for me, and I know it's definitely the least for you, Michigan.
Oh, I just took the words right out of my mouth. Jim Harbaugh. I think Jim Harbaugh is on the hot seat. Definitely. He's never beaten Ohio State before. And he went there to bring Michigan to the promised land. And if you're, 0-5, 0-6 against Ohio State, it's not a good look. So, he's got something to prove, and he's got to win that. He's got to win the Big Ten this year, and it starts by beating Ohio State at the end of November.
Want to add anything, Carson, John, to Michigan?
Yeah, no, I agree with Travis.
Both of you have an equal hatred towards Michigan.
Yeah, no, I agree with Travis. I always said from day one that Jim Harbaugh is overrated. He should have stayed in the NFL. But I mean, yeah, that's your team. You got to beat. I mean, Ohio State. I mean, it's one of the biggest rivalries in all of college football. And when you're 0-5 or 0-6 or whatever it is, I mean, you can't get one win out of that. I mean, that's why you're there, you know. So he's got to at least get to the Big Ten championship, if not win it this year, or else I think he's definitely in talks of possibly losing his job.
Fair enough. John, anything to add about Michigan or anybody in the Big Ten?
Yeah, Rutgers, baby. Let's go.
Are you crazy?
New Jersey guys, Carson.
No, I'm not crazy. Listen, they're playing Indiana this week. Indiana is one of my sleeper teams. Rutgers is gonna beat Indiana. I'm telling you, watch out for Rutgers.
I'll tell you right now, guys, if Rutgers wins, and Beelan, me and you picked them out, right? And we'll make our picks in a couple of minutes. But I'm with you. I'm with you, Beelan. And you know what? I'll tell you, they're going to be the talk of that Big Ten if they start 2-0 beating Indiana.
There's two teams in the Big Ten that everyone sleeps on, and they're in the thicket of everything at the end of the year. And that's one, Iowa, and number 2 is Wisconsin. So those are two teams up north, big offensive linemen, running the football, playing winning ball games and playing good defense. And Iowa's known for their tight ends. So to me, you know, those are two teams I think you can't sleep on. And when Ohio State and Penn State and Michigan, and now you can throw Rutgers into the mix, beat each other up, that's when Iowa and Wisconsin, they sneak into that Big Ten championship and they surprise a lot of people.
There you go. Any final thoughts on the Big Ten review for this week, Carson, before we get into our college picks? You're looking forward to this week's game?
It sucks to say this because like every year we play Michigan, I at least have some glimmer of hope because I just see something in our team. And what I saw on Saturday, I think was the worst game I've ever seen by Michigan State. It was horrific. 7 turnovers. Rutgers' first win in the Big Ten in over a decade. And it's gonna be over by the first quarter. We're gonna just get totally wrecked, and I'm not even gonna be surprised.
I'll say one last thing, Kurt, and then we'll get into our picks. Carson, at least you got – I can't believe I'm saying this. You got the Lions right now.
You do.
Did we think we'd be saying that 2 weeks ago?
Here's my spoiler. Carson's going to be on a 3-game winning streak this week because they're going to win this week.
Want to do some college picks, Kurt?
Yeah, let's get to college picks. I know the only thing is I got to get a picture of Travis for next week. I didn't have a picture of him, Travis, so you got to send me a pick for the bio and a pick for our picks next week, Travis.
Sure.
Play along this week, Travis.
Yeah,
I'll write your picks down. Last week's standings, guys, Carson and Beelan are tied for first. They were 9-5 last week.
All right.
Kurt right behind, 8-6. I need to do some homework this week. 6-8 for me.
Sounds about right.
So that's the standings going into this.
You're the Kerr of college.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, so can I give out the games because I have all the logo. By the way, guys, again, Carson, listen to this. Kenny says to me, "Well, you only got to do a couple more logos for this week." Okay, how many? Only a couple. Serious, a couple. How many? We're up to like 14 games. Again, another 28 logos. Like it just keeps going up. After I did another, for the high school show in NFL.
From last week. You should have them say logo.
Yeah. All right, let's start here. We're gonna start right out of the gate. We're gonna go Clemson at home against Boston College, 29.5 points. Kenny, you call the names. You tell me where I want to. You go. You ask the guys.
We'll go Travis first, Carson, Beelan, you and me on this one.
Good.
We'll switch it up each round.
Clemson. Not even a question to ask. I'm going. I know Boston College. I heard it's been doing big things this year, but I'm going Clemson.
All right, Carson.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Clemson, of course, as well. Now, I will admit, though, I did say that they were going to blow out Syracuse, and they kind of did, but I think what was the point spread then, like 40 or something last week? But they kept their ground. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say Clemson by like 24 over Boston College.
Okay, so you're going to take Boston College with the points then.
Yeah.
Okay. Johnny.
BC, baby, let's go. Clemson's done blowing out people.
I'm always wrong on Boston College. Last week, Clemson did not blow out. 46 was way too many points. I'm going to say 29 is not too many points. I'm going to go Clemson.
Okay. By the way, Bobby Blackjack saying one of the top shows on the I-95 Sports Network. Mr. Blackjack. One of the top shows on the I-95 Sports
there you
Network.
Go. Thanks, Bobby. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Bobby. And you know what? I agree with you, Mr. Kirkpatrick. I think, listen, Clemson, again, it's always, what do you want to do? I think what happened last week versus Syracuse is bad for Boston College. I think they've been hearing a little bit, they were in the game versus Syracuse. They didn't look good. Trevor Lawrence threw his first career pick 6. I think, again, they take it out on Boston College, so I'm going to go with Kenny, and I am going to agree and take Clemson minus the points.
Kenny and Travis, we both had.
Oh, Travis too. Okay, sorry.
Johnny and Carson had
Boston College.
Boston College.
Let's see how long Kenny keeps these picks correctly. That's his job that's his job on the show. What do we got next, Mr. Kirkpatrick? We're gonna go. You know what? We're gonna come right out of the gate swinging. Carson's Michigan State Spartans at the impressive Michigan Wolverines. That's an
Carson
early game.
Last on this one, obviously.
Carson goes last.
We'll go John, myself, Kurt, Travis, Carson on this one.
Okay, we have a spread right now of 25.5 points, Michigan.
We'll go John first, Travis.
Oh, yeah, Michigan. Let's go, MU.
Travis.
Oh, this is going to be a closer game than people expect. I'm going Michigan State. I'm taking the points. I say Michigan wins, but Michigan State with the points.
I'm going Michigan State as well, Carson.
Okay.
I think it's the rival. You got to play your rivals. You can't get blown out to your rival.
There goes another 6 weeks.
If you got one game circled on the year, it's this one. And Michigan State's going to cover this spread. Don't know if they're going to win. That'd be on really far-fetched, but they're going to cover that spread.
I should just pick Michigan because Carson went against my Broncos last week. But no, I'm going to be serious. I think the game will be close for a while, but I think the talent level is I think and again, I think Michigan is. I think Harbaugh's got that little attitude this year of, you know what, like, I'm sick of hearing this garbage about me, and he's not going to take chances. Again, they always say Penn State, the Michigan State, and the Ohio State, and I think he sends a message with a big win. I think Michigan puts it on him. I think it puts it on him. Carson.
Oh man. See, like I'm looking at my quarterback stats right now. Rocky Lombardi, 31 for 43, 319 yards and 3 touchdowns. If you weren't watching the game, you'd say that's a pretty good game. But all the throws that he made, I don't think he made one throw over 15 yards to somebody. They were very quick and short passes. I don't have a glimmer and hope, and I hate saying this. I know it's Michigan, and I got to run with my Spartans, of course, but I don't know how I am. I feel like I'm the big brother that has to support his little brother at like a sporting event or something, because it's gonna be ugly fast, and I'm hope I'm wrong, but hoping for the best, fingers crossed. But I'm going Michigan by like 2 touchdowns, unfortunately.
Okay, so you're still going to
take the points.
So you'll take the points with Michigan State, and you're hoping for the best, that's fair.
Yeah, ugly fast.
That's fair enough, because I think we all agree with. A lot of us agreed with it's going to be closer than people think.
Yep. All right. Next game on Mr. Kirkpatrick's board over here is the undefeated Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Very impressive last week. And Beelan, I give you props because I texted you on Saturday and said, Beelan, what do you think, Pitt or Notre Dame? You were all over Notre Dame. They're back against Georgia Tech, who's, I don't know how, I don't know. They beat Florida State, and then after that, they've done absolutely nothing. They got
Take it, Kurt. Go ahead. You go first.
who beat them up last week? Somebody beat them up last week. Anyway, the spread's 20.5. I have no confidence in Georgia Tech. Again, very impressed with Notre Dame. The only thing is, I believe is the Clemson Notre Dame game next weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah, next week.
that's so. Do they hold back a little, take people out? But I
game of the year.
it could be. I can't take. I can't trust them. So I'm going to take Notre Dame laying the points.
I'll go quick next. I'm going to go with you, Kurt. One of the few that we probably agree on today. I think the spread should have been 30. So give me Notre Dame at that spread all day. I'll go to Carson.
Yeah, Notre Dame, no question, is going to be a blowout over Georgia Tech.
We'll go Johnny Beelan.
Come on, Irish. Let's go.
Irish all the way. And Travis, clean sweeping it.
Oh, we got the read option, the triple option, the veer, going up against the top team, the nation's favorite team in the country. Throw them up. First round knockout for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Okay, then we got a little. Here's a game where this was a big topic last night on our regular K&K show, because we were all talking about the Oklahoma State Cowboys, and they're gonna have their chance. I can tell you this: they're gonna have their chance to prove, because they're playing They're playing a Texas team that you don't know who the hell knows what's going to happen with this team. I mean, they could win by 20, lose by 30, give up 70 points. Nobody knows.
What's their record?
Texas is
3-2.
Texas is 3-2.
Yeah.
But again, they could beat anybody, lose anybody. They're a 3.5-point underdog at Oklahoma State. Kenny, start us off.
I'm going to take the outright upset here. Getting points, I'm happy. But I'm going to take the outright upset, Texas. This is the game. Oklahoma State always has that, they're up there, and then they always get that loss. And this is going to be their loss.
Okay. Who's next? Kenny, you got the board?
We'll go Carson.
Yeah, I'm with you, Kenny. I'm a big fan of Sam Ehlinger. I think he had a phenomenal game against Oklahoma. I'm going with the upset.
Nice. I'm going to go to Johnny because he's shaking his head.
Come on. Oklahoma State, they're going to rout them, and Sam's going to cry a little bit more like he always does. And the only reason why Carson he had a good game is because Oklahoma doesn't have a defense. So those are padded stats.
Listen, I don't agree with listen, I never agreed with Kenny, but I think I found somebody in Beelan I never agree with. So, but I agree with him tonight because I cannot trust that defense. Oklahoma State's defense is pretty good. I think Texas will score a little, but how the hell? I mean, Hubbard's going to run all over Texas. So I'm going to go Oklahoma State minus the 3.5. Travis, what do you got?
Coach Kurt, you said the key word there, defense. And if you don't have a defense against that guy with the mullets offense, you're in for a long day. I'm taking Oklahoma State in a rout.
Okay, we got to do it because
I like the comment. I like the commentary.
We got to do it because it's on the board. Mr. Crazy Mike Leach brings his air raid offense into listen, he's not playing in the Pac-12 and all those conferences tonight. He's playing Alabama, 7 o'clock under the lights. They are, I believe it is a 30. I'm sorry, what is the spread? Is a 30.5-point favorite, Alabama. I'll just start this. Listen, they couldn't stop Arkansas. They couldn't stop LSU. And they better not go to Alabama throwing the ball 70 times a game because seriously, they might give up 80 points. I'm going Alabama easy. Easy Alabama.
We'll go to Travis.
Let's roll Tide. I mean, that's an easy one. Coach Kurt, again, you hit the nail on the head. If you're throwing the ball 80 times a game, especially against a better program and a better team against Alabama, the key to beating that team is to actually shorten the game, not lengthen
Right.
the
See,
game.
the problem
all
in
those
this game
passes.
and what Leach has found out in the SEC is he plays in these Pac-12 conferences where, he's throwing a slip screen and a quick screen and those guys are running 80.
No,
Here
they'll be well
they just
prepared.
lock up. They're going to lock up man to man
Yep.
and go get them, and it's going to be a disaster. So he better run the ball, or seriously, the game's going to be on till midnight and he's going to get beat by 70 points. So it's up to him what he wants to do.
We'll go to John next.
Best coach in football, best Heisman it's going to be this year, Mac Jones, and best team in football because Clemson is a little bit overrated, but we're going with Roll Tide.
Carson.
Yeah, Alabama going to be a blowout, not even close. Final score prediction 58-3.
That's a little too much.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I got a question for Kurt. This is for everybody, but it's specifically for Kurt because of his commentary when he gave his pick. You said you're predicting Mississippi State to throw the ball 70 times?
Yeah. Yes.
You throw the ball 70 times, how many points you think you're going to score?
Not against them?
You're going to have drives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but
3 and outs.
a lot of 3 and outs because I'm telling you, it's not going to be like sit back in a little zone.
You're gonna have to. If you throw the ball 70 times, now I don't think he's going to throw the ball 70 times, but I think they're going to score. I think they're going to score, and I think it's going to be in that 28-point range. So give me Mississippi State just making that cover.
I wish you bet that game and I could watch you on a live cam and just see you saying, "Run the ball! Why are you constantly throwing the ball?" Because that's what you would be screaming at the screen, Kenny.
John, I'll PayPal you the money this week because I can't wager here yet until we vote.
But it's gonna pass. All right, here we go, Carson. Let's have Carson start this one off. The big game of the week, 7:30 at night, ABC. I don't want to. Do I even say these games? Because he probably hates these teams too. Ohio State giving 12.5 to Penn State. What do you think? Give me a winner, and what do you think with the points, Carson?
Man, I'm going to say Ohio State wins this game, and I'm going with Penn State with the points here. I think Penn State's going to be irritated from that upset from Indiana last week. Penn State's home. I'm going to go with Ohio State by like a touchdown.
Beelan?
Ohio State.
Big?
14, 17 points.
Okay. I'll go next. I agree with you, Beelan. I think this game has a very good chance to be like a 7-point score in the fourth quarter. And, either Penn State makes a mistake or just Ohio State like late gets the cover. So I would be nervous with this game because I agree with Carson. I could see this being a 7-point game, but if I had to say I have to take somebody, I'm gonna do like Beal. I'm gonna go 14-point. I'll do a 14-point win, and that covers for Ohio State. Travis.
Ohio State goes to Happy Valley, and let me tell you something. You guys are talking close. Well, I'm going to be even talking closer. I'm saying this game goes into double overtime, but you guys hit the nail on the head. Penn State's going to find a way to make a mistake because Ohio State is that monster. They put the fear factor in you. I say Ohio State wins this game.
Kenny, before I get to you, because you guys were saying Happy Valley, somebody was saying at home, Carson. The only thing is that, can you imagine, they were saying, imagine this game if there were fans and it had the white out and all that kind of thing. And that's a totally different animal.
Yeah.
Homecoming game.
So that helps Ohio State that they don't have to go through that. Go ahead, Kenny.
All my thunder, Kurt. But I agree 1,000% with Carson. But if the game was a whiteout, Penn State would have had the outright upset. But I agree 1,000% with Carson. Game's going to be close. Ohio State squeaks out a victory in the 7-point range, maybe up to 10 points, but too many points. Give me Penn State.
Okay. Next game, we're going to go Coastal Carolina and Georgia Southern.
I'll start it off because until they lose and they're ranked, they're going to be in this discussion on our picks each week. I was wrong about them last week. I found out one of our high schools that we coached, Carson, guys, one of the students from that high school goes to Coastal Carolina. So you know what? I'm backing
sweet.
them up each and every week now. Coastal Carolina.
Coastal Carolina, by the way, is a 2-point favorite. I believe I have it reversed, but the game is at Georgia State. So, but I have
At
it
Georgia
reversed on the
State,
screen.
Coastal Carolina is undefeated.
Okay, so you're going. I'm sorry, who are you going, Kenny?
Coastal Carolina.
So you're going Coastal Carolina. Go ahead, Carson.
Yeah, I'm going with Kenny, Coastal Carolina. I want to see them. If they can make like the top 15 by the end of the year, that'd be pretty sweet. Just to have a really random team you don't really hear too much about be big time. So I'm going Coastal Carolina.
You hit the nail on the coffin because I did some research last week. We were talking about it's the first time they've been ranked. They've only been Division I since 2017.
Wow.
So they just took that leap since 2017. So nice little Cinderella story. Got to pull for Cinderella sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm with you guys. I'm on the Coastal Carolina bandwagon, so I'm gonna add them on. Beelan
Coastal, let's go.
and Travis.
With that spread and an undefeated team, we're talking a sweep down the coast. I'm taking Coastal Carolina.
I like Travis putting the little words in, Like,
That's good.
I'm liking it.
Now, an impressive team, and here's something. Listen, if you guys want to watch a show, go back and watch our top 10 debate last night between Petro and Jim and Kurt and Kenny and Beelan. It was phenomenal. Ohio State, we had to give out our top 4. It was a great topic.
Well, real quick, Carson, in a minute, if you can do it in a minute or less, that'd be great. The debate was, should Ohio State be ranked number 3 ahead of Notre Dame, number 4, Oklahoma State, number 6, and Cincinnati, number 9, with only having one victory over a Nebraska team that's not even in the top 25?
One game.
No. I feel like they should be in the top 10, but number 3 is a bit of a stretch. I feel like Notre Dame should be number 3 right now. Oklahoma State's ranked way too high, I think, and they're a good team, but I don't think they're ranked number 6. Ohio State's not there yet. I feel like if they go undefeated, I mean, obviously they're a top 5 team, but not right now, I don't think.
And who would be your top 4 right now?
Clemson, Alabama, Notre Dame, and Georgia.
Fair enough. And how about you, Travis, real quick before we
I'm keeping that the same 4 teams, but I'm actually going to mix it up. I'm going Bama number 1, Clemson 2. I'm going
Travis.
Georgia still 3, and then Notre Dame number 4.
Okay.
Fair enough. We had a nice
reason why I don't
debate on this.
don't
And we had, I was on the bandwagon with you all with Ohio State shouldn't be in there yet. Now, if they beat Penn State handily, now we can start talking about getting them in the top 4, in my opinion.
I agree.
That was a little
but
debate we had yesterday. For anybody out there who wants to listen to that part of the show,
it was great.
In our 9 o'clock hour. It was a good little debate.
But Georgia got routed by Alabama in the second half. How can you still be ranked 4th?
Because they're going against the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah, it's Alabama.
Very well, it's Bama, and they're a Georgia team. And what do Georgia teams do?
Beat by
They
them.
blow leads. Simple as that.
And you got beat by them. It wasn't close.
Guys, listen, guys.
Their DNA.
If you Carson and Travis, if you watch it, let's say, Kenny, what do you think? What do you think my blood pressure was during this subject last night?
I saw the steam coming from his head.
Time to get that one chip.
You know what? It's like you're saying. Beelan's asking how, and Travis just nailed it. They're a better team. If Georgia was to play Oklahoma State right now, if Georgia was to play Oklahoma State, Georgia would easily be a 10 to 13 point
Hands
favorite
down,
over them.
But
And
Kurt,
they're the better team. They would win.
It wasn't close.
Right,
But it wasn't close to Alabama. If it was close, I would say leave them at 4.
Let's get back into the college picks, Kurt, so we can finish these
But I'm going
college.
to be honest. Here's my only point. I think the only team that's going to stay close with Alabama, honestly, is Clemson. That's just what I think it's going to be. Maybe Ohio State, but I don't know. All right, so let's get to Memphis versus Cincinnati. Very impressive. Cincinnati last week smoked SMU.
This is John's favorite conference.
It is. It's a nice little conference.
SMU got beat last week.
They
let's
got
go to
beat
him first
bad.
on this one.
Cincinnati's a 6.5 point favorite.
Yep.
Johnny, you're up first.
Oh, Cincy.
Cincy. I agree with John.
I agree with you guys
They're
too.
the
Very
best team
impressive.
in that conference. They're showing it. You know.
I'm with you guys. What about you, Carson?
Yeah, I'm going Cincy. I think Memphis is a sneaky team, though. They barely lost to SMU. I still think Cincy gets the win, but it's going to be close.
Okay. 6.5. Would you take the 6.5 with Memphis, or you give the 6.5?
I give the 6.5.
Okay. Travis, what do you got?
I got Memphis, and I say this is going to be an upset. To me, Cincinnati, they're a middle of the road team. I remember when they used to be in the Big East with Pitt back in the day. I think Memphis, if you're going to play SMU, a decent team like SMU close, that's going to build their confidence, and they're going to be hungry for a win.
Kurt,
I say gets an upset.
Kurt, before we get into our next game, let's take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
We got a couple of people who want to come on and talk to Carson for a couple minutes.
Okay. What's going on?
Bring them in. So we'll stop the college for a minute.
There they are.
Joe and Xavier. These are Kurt's nephews.
What's up, boys?
Is that Xavier sporting the?
Xavier sporting his Broncos. Xavier, how are you, Xavier? I don't hear him.
Connecting to their audio.
Okay.
Technical difficulties.
It runs in the family. There they are. What's up, Xavier?
Hi.
What's going on? There's Xavier and Joe, my nephews, big sports fans. And guys, we got you on here tonight because we have our special guest, Carson Shear. He and again, I hope your mother starts showing you the videos. But he's great with arcades, and he does a lot of stuff with the claw games that we never win. So I want to ask you guys a question. What games when we go on the boardwalk, we're Seaside, Wildwood, but mainly Wildwood, what's your favorite arcade games?
I have no idea because I there's no one's ever here.
Well, what's your favorite one? What do you like?
I don't know.
What claw game?
Football throw.
The football. Yeah. No. When you guys go into claw games, how come we never? Go ahead, Kenny.
Because you already won.
No. My question is, guys, I hear from Uncle Kurt that you guys like the claw games. The crane. He calls them the cranes.
Yeah.
What type of prizes do you like to win on there?
The rip-offs. I like the rip-offs. I really do.
What does he like? I can't hear him.
Ring pops.
Take over.
The ring pops.
You get ripped off. We get ripped off.
Because we never win. Carson's gonna help us win come starting in the summer next year. Once we go to Wildwood, Carson's gonna be our guy.
That's right.
You know?
Xavier, grab a piece of paper and a pen right now, or pencil. Okay, grab paper and pencil real quick.
Joe.
Let me know when you got it.
Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, ask so when we go to the claw game, you guys are and you know what always happens, Carson? We always go there, and if they don't get what they want, they're hitting up me, they're hitting up Aunt Jen, Uncle Ryan, Aunt Jody.
Where's Uncle Kurt always drunk?
It's bad, Beelan. It's bad, and sometimes you guys want to do this one. This one you win. What is it? You play to you win, but they always want. What else do you guys? Xavier, what do you guys always like? The Freddy, like he likes the Freddies. What is it? What's the thing you like, Freddy?
Rick and Morty.
Fright Night at Freddy.
Rick and Morty.
You know? But,
all right, well, Xavier, are you there? Can you guys hear us?
Yes.
All right. You know how to get on YouTube, right?
Oh, they know how to get on YouTube.
Okay, write this name down. Ready? Carson, Carson, Claws, Claws. This is your homework. You don't have to worry about your math homework or your English homework. You got to do your arcade homework this week.
Well, Kenny, if you say that, that's just like Ashley, like their mother.
And you come on next week with us, and then you tell us what you learned, okay? Watch some of the videos. Tell mommy and daddy.
I'm Carson Claus.
Tell mom, especially mom. Tell mom you want to go to Dave and Buster's.
Oh, we take them.
Yeah.
You know what, guys? You know
Here's
what?
the challenge. I want you to win as many prizes as you can with $10 each. Okay.
Joe, hold on. Tell everybody on the show, what is your favorite arcade game? Me and you do it all the time.
The
Come on.
clowns.
The clowns, right? The clowns
Yeah.
come up and you throw the balls on the clowns. Absolutely.
You know
That's a fun one.
what I've been loving lately, and maybe I don't know if you, Carson, you've seen this, but at Dave and Buster's, they have a baseball game there.
Yeah.
It's like a little flicking thing.
I know what
Let me
you're
tell
talking
you,
about.
I could sit there all day racking up points.
Yeah,
and
that's a
tickets
fun
for
one.
this.
Yeah, baseball pro, and you hit the ball into the little slots and the bases. Yeah, that's
All
a
right,
fun one.
let's get.
I
And last thing I got for you guys, make sure you go watch the videos. And then for Christmas, you got to get a claw machine for your house.
Yeah.
And then you can come on with us and you can learn and you can play from home and we can have a little contest. Okay?
I like that idea.
Uncle Kurt will buy one.
All right, Joe, I got a question.
I saw one video of Carson Claus, and you won the PlayStation.
Oh, you saw that one,
There
buddy?
you
Oh,
go.
thanks,
Yeah.
dude.
That's it.
There you go.
That's it. That's it for the week.
Oh, we're
Hey,
we're in trouble.
Dave and Buster's, guys. Tell mom you got a $10 challenge. Dave and Buster's. You got to come on next week and tell us how many prizes you won.
Joe, can you answer
Sure.
this? Go ahead, Beelan.
I'm gonna tell Jen to get you a claw for Christmas, and then it's gonna pick out a new franchise quarterback.
There you go. There you go. All right, here we go, Joe.
All right, guys.
Oh, wait, hold on, Joe. We got
Last one for them.
We got to ask Joe the important question. Carson's a big Lions fan. Who's the quarterback of the Detroit Lions?
Matthew Stanford.
There you go.
Boy.
Nice.
Boy. Who's the quarterback of the Jets?
Sam Darnold.
Sam
Yeah.
Darnold.
There you go.
Who's the quarterback of Kenny's team, the Giants?
Daniel Jones.
Very
Atta
good.
boy.
How about Travis's Steelers?
Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Good.
Atta boy.
How about the
Big
Denver
Ben.
Broncos?
Drew Lock.
Atta boy. And who won the World Series? Did you guys watch?
Dodgers.
Yeah, Dodgers.
All right, good job. See, Kenny, they're up to on their sports, man. They're on their
They're into
sports.
their sports. Now their homework is arcades now. with the
Absolutely.
claws. That's your homework, guys. You tell us what kind of prizes you won next week, okay?
Absolutely.
We'll see you next week.
All right, but next week, do your homework. We're gonna get you guys in next week.
See you guys.
By the way,
I'll
they
see you
played,
guys. Nice meeting you guys.
see you guys later.
Bye.
By the way, they played excellent. We went to go watch them in flag football last weekend. Both of them had great games. Joe lost. Xavier won. Xavier threw 2 touchdowns, so
Nice.
very good. But no,
Now-
that was
now-
awesome.
Kurt,
hey, I
Kurt
tell
will
you what,
back
really
me up
quick-
on this.
yeah.
Kurt will back me up on this. What time? Let's say the boys' bedtime is 9 o'clock tonight. I can hear little Joe saying, "I don't want to go to bed tonight. I'm watching Carson Claw
Oh,
video."
listen, 1,000%.
Yeah.
My
He's gonna be up
parents,
till midnight.
Beelan,
They're
my
gonna be up
parents
till
got
midnight
them. My
tonight.
parents got them the PlayStation 4, PS4, and they got him the show. They're on. He'll play that thing all night long. They have to hide the remote from him because they play it all night long. So
That's crazy.
it's nuts.
Ashley, Kurt's sister's going like, "What did you get these boys into? Now they're costing me hundreds of dollars each week."
By the way, a couple comments from Joe Monty saying, "Hey Carson, you rock, bro. Carson is a legend." Yes, he is.
Hey, what's up, Joe? How you doing,
Yes,
man?
he
Stop
is.
by,
Oh,
buddy.
thanks for joining us.
Yes, he is.
Let's do a couple more, Kurt.
All right, couple more college, and then we'll fly through NFL. All right, so we
We'll
got.
fly through these like rapid fire
All right,
stuff.
here we go. UNC 6.5-point favorite at Virginia. I'll start. You know what? This game scares me a little bit because I don't trust UNC especially after they lost to Florida State. But I will give the 6.5, and I do think they will beat Hoops' UVA. So I will take UNC. Kenny, what do you got?
I went against Hoops once. I'm not going against her again. I'm going Virginia.
Upset?
Yes.
Who?
Outright upset, but I'm taking the points, obviously.
Okay, Carson.
Oh, man, 2 basketball schools that are playing football against each other. Wow. You know what? I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm going Virginia. Why not?
Beelan?
2 basketball schools, but the difference is they got Mac Brown, and we're talking about UNC. Let's go.
But Beelan, let me ask you, how confident are you on this with the 6.5?
From last week, I'm confident from last week. And
Okay.
you knew me from last week.
I know.
I just got a text saying, please mute Beelan. That was from Jenny Hoops upstairs. No, I'm kidding.
And Travis, what do you got?
Oh man, you know what I like? You know what? These are two teams. Virginia. This guy came from here. I don't know if you remember James Farrier.
Yes, I do.
Of course.
By the way, Hoops is saying loving the Virginia love from Kenny and Carson. So Jenny Hoops is, you know what it is? You know how they always say like the big brother Hoops is always watching. So don't
Tar
talk bad
Heels,
about
man.
Hoops.
There's got a secret camera behind one of those pictures, Kurt, that you don't know about.
Probably
Oh, I
does.
just gave the secret away. Darn it.
Probably does.
The Tar Heels. Oh, this is a tough one, but you know what? I say this game's going to go down to a game-winning field goal. And you know what? I'm going to just for Hoop's sake, I'm going to take Virginia with the game winner upset.
Okay. And let's get to this one because I know I'm fired up for this and Mr. Beelan's fired up. I'm going to start this nice and easy. You know what? What do they say, Beelan? RU, keep chopping, outright upset. Rutgers beats Indiana this week.
Ooh.
Beelan.
Yeah, let's go. You remember how, I don't know if people were watching college basketball a lot last year, but RU was one of the best teams against the spread. We're taking them again.
By the way, Jenny Hoops is saying, nice, Travis, on that UVA pick. All right, what do you got, Mr. Kirkpatrick?
What's the spread?
You know what? The spread, I can't, was it like 14, Beelan, or something? I can't find it on,
I'll just say Indiana's going to win. I believe in this quarterback is a real sneaky prospect for the NFL, too.
Okay.
He reminds me of Michael Vick, believe it or not.
Carson, what do you got?
Tell you what, man, if Rutgers wins, it's going to make our loss look more legit. Dude, you know what? Why not? I'm going with the upset, going Rutgers.
Let's go, Carson.
Carson's a believer. What do you got, Mr. Travis?
When I think of RU, I think of fat sandwiches and grease trucks. I don't think of football.
Yeah.
And you talk about that guy, the Indiana's quarterback, remind you of Michael Vick. Well, here's another name I'll throw out, and he used to play for Indiana. He was drafted by the Steelers and played receiver, but actually threw a touchdown. 40. Antoine Randall. I'm taking Indiana in this one. Give me them. They're gonna cover the spread. RU go back to eating fat sandwich.
All right, Kenny. I'm sorry. We got 3 more games. I'm sorry. We got again. These are because Kenny.
Hold on, I was just going to tell Carson a quick story about the grease trucks in 10 seconds. I don't know if you have them in Michigan State.
No, not many. No.
The trucks, the fat. You have a fat sandwich, and if you finish so many, you get to name it. I went down one time and I ate the Fat Darryl, which was
the Fat Darryl was
which is a big like hero sub sandwich, almost like a foot long. Chicken tenders, I believe it was.
Sticks,
mozzarella sticks. I think
French
it was
fries.
French fries.
Onion rings too?
Might have been onion rings and
white sauce. Don't forget the white sauce.
Marinara sauce. And they are just like the worst thing for your arteries, but they are delicious.
They are.
Oh man!
All right, let's get.
I think you got to finish 3 of them to get one named after you.
Wow!
And then you get to make whatever sandwich you want. So that's like the RU. That's like the tradition down there.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, we got 3 more games because, guys, again, Kenny only gave a couple games this week, so his games is only 17 games.
Now, this is more fun.
Boise State 13.5 against Air Force. We got 15 minutes and we got 18 NFL games.
I put this in for one of our listeners, our good friend Blake Kelch, who's a Boise State alumni.
Well, you know what, Blake? This is for you, Blake. It's a rout. Boise State routes them.
100% agree with Kurt. Carson.
Yeah, with you guys as well. Boise State's going to rout Air Force.
Travis.
Anytime you got a Veer team versus a high-scoring blue turf monster, Boise State, this is an easy pick. Probably the easiest one in the whole segment. I'm going Boise State. I think Air Force is the worst one out of all 3 of the military schools.
Beelan?
Sweeping it, Beelan?
Who's home?
Air Force.
Taking the Air Force.
To win or just with the spread?
No, with the spread.
Okay. All right, couple more college. Here we go. This one I'll be glued to my TV at 3:30, baby. LSU at Auburn. I'll let Kenny start this one.
Ugh.
2.5 point spread. I believe
This is a
LSU.
terrible game.
I believe LSU is a 2.5
terrible
point
game,
favorite.
but I think it's an easy one to bet. I am not a believer in LSU at all. Since the beginning of the year, I said LSU's down. Auburn, easiest bet of the week for me.
Beelan?
LSU's quarterback's out.
Yep.
So they got that new freshman starting.
Kid, yep.
But yeah, I'm going with your Tigers one last time.
Okay, I agree with you.
They don't do it now. Ugh.
You know what? Beelan, you just took the words out of my mouth. If you don't do it now, that's it. And you know what? Gus is under tremendous heat. They're at home. LSU, not healthy. You know what? I'm going to be honest. This could be a game where if he loses this game, he could potentially get fired. I'm serious. That's how much heat he's taken from everything I've been hearing. And you cannot lose this game at home. I'm sorry. You can't. You got to beat LSU when they're down. I'm going to go Auburn by 2 touchdowns over LSU. Carson, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm with you, Kurt. Bo Nix, I'm a high believer in. I think this is going to be a blowout. Auburn's going to smoke LSU. Bold prediction.
Travis, you sweeping the board?
This is tough. You got Go Tigers against Gus Malzahn. He runs an excellent system. It's with his offense. It's very innovative. You know, it kind of translated into the NFL a little bit. His run game, the counters, and all that stuff. This is Gus Malzahn's last game. You know, he had a great run. You know, a couple one or two championships.
Championship. He got to the national title game as a head coach and lost to Florida State, and then he won it as an OC in 2010 with Cam.
Okay, all right. I mean, he did a good job, a good run. But you know what? LSU has a freshman quarterback back against the heels. I'm sticking it with Gus Malzahn. I'm going Auburn.
Okay, and last college game, Georgia 17.5 point favorite at Kentucky. I'm going to be honest. I'll start this one. Listen, it's the spreads. The spread is a lot of points for Georgia. They don't score a lot. They got a great defense. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. You know what? I mean, I think Georgia wins, but I'm going to take the points with Kentucky. But Georgia wins by 10 to 14, but not 17.5. I'll go Kentucky with the points. Beelan, where are you going?
Georgia.
Big?
No, Kentucky's home, right?
Yeah, Kentucky's home.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with Georgia. Probably just a little bit over spread, maybe 17.
Okay. Kenny.
I'm with John. I think Georgia's the best out of the one-loss teams, and they're on the outside looking in. So now it's time to make a statement, and this is the start of the statement. I say by 21 at least.
Okay.
Touchdowns.
Carson.
Yeah, I'm going Georgia big against Kentucky.
And Travis.
Kenny, you say 21? Well, I'm saying 31.
Blowout, huh?
Georgia has a statement to prove. You hit the nail on the head. This is going to be a statement game against a lower-level team against Kentucky. They're going to blow them out of the water. They're still ticked off about that Bama loss.
All right, Kenny, we got 10 minutes. Let's blow through these NFL games.
Blow through them real quick.
All right, are we going to do heads up or are we going to do spreads?
If we go a minute or two overtime, we'll go a minute or two.
Fine. Spreads or heads up, Kenny?
Spreads. We do the spreads on Thursdays.
Here we go. Tonight, the Carolina Panthers minus Christian McCaffrey, 1.5 at home against Atlanta. Carson, where you going?
Going Carolina against the Falcons.
Kenny.
They're the new kings of how do you lose a different way each week. So until they can start winning a game, I'm going Carolina.
Okay. Travis.
It's in Atlanta's blood to lose football games. However, I'm taking Atlanta tonight. I think Matt Ryan has a statement to make. like you said before, this might be his last year. So I pick Atlanta tonight.
You know what? Before I get to Beelan, I couldn't agree with you more, Travis. I'm going with you. I think dire situation. I'm not a believer. I'm still not a believer in Bridgewater. No McCaffrey. I've seen, Carolina couldn't beat Chicago at home. I'm going with you. I'm going outright upset. I'm taking Atlanta too. Beelan, where you going?
Atlanta and the over tonight.
Okay.
He's
Atlanta
throwing
and
a bonus pick out there.
Atlanta and the over. Love it. All right, next game. See, Kenny, you weren't that bad on these because we have to do all the NFL, so the logos didn't take that time. Let's get right to the big game. Let's not fool around. Travis, start us off. Pittsburgh Steelers at Baltimore Ravens. Here we go. Spread right now is 3.5. Your Steelers are getting 3.5. Yes or no? What do you got?
We're getting, not giving. We're getting 3.5.
You're getting 3.5.
It's Ravens week. We got swept by them last year. Big Ben is back. Has a winning record against Baltimore career-wise. I'm taking Pittsburgh outright, 7-0.
Carson.
Man, I think if there was ever a bigger game for Lamar Jackson, I think it's right now. If he doesn't have a big game, I'm going with the Steelers. But right now, Steelers, unless Lamar kind of shows why he was the MVP.
So you're going Steelers?
Yeah.
All right. Travis, this one's for you. We had this conversation last night. Lamar Jackson cannot throw from the pocket. They're going to make him a pocket quarterback, take away the run. Like you're saying, big game. Here we go again. You're not playing the Bengals or the Browns this week. And you know what? All eyes on them, playing the best defense in the league. I'm going to say this, Travis, you ready? By the fourth quarter, you could be sipping whatever you want to be sipping. You're going to have a 10 to 13 point lead. This game is not even close, and it starts showing the true Lamar Jackson. Steelers by 10 to 13.
Love it.
Beelan.
I think this is going to come down to a game-winning field goal. And I believe that the best kicker ever in NFL history is going to nail it. And regardless which way it happens, we're gonna lose this game anyways because it's a 3-point spread. But I'm gonna go with the Ravens coming off the bye week.
But you'll take Pittsburgh with the 3.5 if you had to take the 3.5, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
No love for Boswell. He's got the most consecutive field goals right now.
Justin Tucker can kick a field goal.
He missed an extra point.
One leg.
I'll be the odd man out and be a homer down here. I'm gonna go Ravens. Like John said, bye week, 2 weeks to prepare for an undefeated
those
team.
crabs.
The Steelers defense almost blew that game last week. They had a huge lead at half, and then they almost blew it in the second half.
They still finished, though. They still
Careful.
finished. Keyword.
I will say this. If, I could see it like John said, a field goal game either way, but I'll take the Ravens. If there were fans, it would easily be the Ravens, but there's no fans in Baltimore.
Okay. Let's get to this.
I'm gonna go Ravens.
Okay.
The odd man out.
All right, let's get to this one. Beelan, your team is getting 19.5 points. 19.
Chiefs.
Beelan's
no, next. Chiefs.
Listen, let's
Chiefs
do this.
next.
Let's bang this one out quick. Beelan's going Chiefs. Kurt's going Chiefs. Carson, where you going?
Chiefs, hands down.
Kenny?
You all went with the Bills last week, right?
Yep.
What happened?
Yep.
Jets covered. Everybody in the world is going to be taking the Chiefs. The Jets are going to cover this game. Give me the Jets. There's no way they're going to win the game, but they're going to cover.
Okay. And Travis?
Vegas is licking their chops right now. Profits, and more profits. Guess what? I'm taking the New York Jets. Covering the spread by 17 points.
Oh, okay.
1,000,000% agree. That's my exact prediction.
All right, here we go. A little under the radar game. The Raiders at Cleveland. Cleveland is a 2.5 point favorite at home, Beelan. Where you going?
Raiders.
Raiders win?
Raiders win.
Raiders win. Beelan's going Raiders. Carson.
I'm happy Cleveland, I think, found their quarterback for at least the next 5 years, maybe to 10 years. Baker Mayfield, he's showing why he was the previous #1 overall pick. I'm going Browns in a big one.
Good pick. Kenny.
I'm with Beelan on this one. I'm going to go Raiders. No Odell Beckham. You know, who's going to be the big threat there now? Jarvis Landry? You know, nobody. They're gonna load the box up. Their defense ain't great. The Raiders, Cincinnati can load the box up and stop Hunt. So give me the Raiders.
I don't believe this. I'm agreeing with Beelan and Kenny on this, but I think the Raiders outright win too. I think that Beckham loss is gonna the injury is gonna hurt a lot more than people are saying. So I'm gonna go Raiders in an upset. Travis, where are you going?
Cleveland, if they want to win this football game, they got to run the football. Baker Mayfield has not proven that he's the franchise quarterback. Let me tell you something, man. I'm going Spider 2Y Raiders for this win.
I'm telling you, Travis.
Last week did it for me. Last week he was unbelievable to close it out.
Yep, he did. Very impressive. Another good 425. Seattle Seahawks at home against the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to call this the new fraud bowl. The fraud quarterback in 49ers and the fraud defense of Seattle. Seattle has zero shot to get to the Super Bowl. Just like the Yankees with the World Series, this team is going to be, they might be one and done because anytime you go on defense, they're going to give up points. I mean, it's going to be like the Big 12. They got to score every time. But listen, I don't trust Garoppolo. Listen, I'm going Seattle. Seattle. Beelan, where are you going?
Seattle. Let's go.
Kenny.
I'm going to go Seattle, but I'm not going to be surprised if the 49ers pull the upset off. The line is way too short for me. It's catching my eye, but I got to go Seattle. Kittle going to have a monster game.
Travis?
Yes. Against that scheme, oh, yeah. 100%. But I'm taking Seattle's the new Dallas. I'm taking Seattle, though, in this game.
Carson?
Going with the upset, 49ers. Let's go.
Wow.
I was close. I wanted to. I couldn't pull the trigger.
Who do I hate worse, Dak or Garoppolo?
Dak.
All right, Rams at Miami. The Tua era has begun. Is he successful or do the Rams, another fraud team, get through? Rams given 3, Beelan. Where are we going?
Rams. Tua came in way too early.
Rams easily, minus the 3?
He's going to get slammed to the ground by Aaron Donald. Welcome to the NFL, Tua.
You know what? I'm going to agree with Beelan.
Or Jalen Ramsey's going to smack him up and talk mad crap to him.
I agree with you, Beelan. I'm going to go Rams. Carson.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm going Rams. I think Tua's going to have a good game, but I'm going with Rams by like 2 touchdowns.
Kenny?
I'm with you guys, and I want to throw a bold prediction out. Tua throws a pick 6.
Okay.
Love it.
Early in the game, and then he settles down. Early in the game, he throws one of those quick pick 6s.
All right.
In the first 5 to 7 minutes of the game.
Travis?
That's a bold prediction.
Feeling you hit the nail on the head. Welcome to the NFL to meet Aaron Donald.
All right. And here we go. The Indianapolis Colts against the red-hot Detroit Lions. Carson goes last on this. Beelan, start us off. I believe it's a 2.5 point favorite, the Colts. 2.5, the Colts.
Sorry, Carson, got to do this, but the Colts, they're still tough. Top 5 defense in the league.
No, I agree.
Kenny?
I think the Detroit Lions finally learned how to win. After last week, that momentum's going to stay with the Lions, and they're going to start talking wild card in Michigan. And Carson's going to be wearing his Detroit Lions blue next Thursday.
Listen.
It's coming. It's coming because the red hot Lions are going to stay hot.
I'm with you, man. And you know
what?
what?
Talking about Matt Patricia for Coach of the Year.
Hey, I agree. The Colts, listen, it scared the hell out of me what I saw versus Cincinnati at home. They got lucky to win that game. Just like you said, Kenny, Detroit's a team that never knows how to win, but they're learning how to win. And you know what? The talk of Matt Patricia's falling down. Outright upset. Detroit beats the Colts 3 in a row.
When Carson gives his pick, I want his thoughts on somebody. But we'll go Travis first. And I'll ask Carson my quick question.
I'm gonna spit a name right now, and his name's Jonathan Taylor. breakout game, makes a statement, they run the football. Detroit's win streak is over. I'm taking Colts.
Well, here's my question to Carson before he answers. You just kind of stole my thunder on the question I'm going to ask. DeAndre Swift, does he continue to have his breakout performances this week against the Colts?
I think he does. He's our number one running back right now. Before it was Kerryon Johnson, and I don't know where he's been right now. I think he has a big game against the Colts. Yeah, it's tough to say because – I mean, we've beaten the Falcons, who are 1-6, and the Jaguars barely. The Falcons we barely beat. Jacksonville, we kind of held our ground there. The only impressive win that we have right now is the red hot Cardinals. Our win's looking pretty good against them. I think this is the game. If we win this game, I feel like the momentum could go through the roof. The first time we actually play a legit team since the Packers. I'm going to go with Detroit by a last-second field goal, 56-yard field goal by Matt Prater to win the game.
Love it. Love that.
Great call. Great call. All right, Kenny, we got to fly through because we're going overtime. Let's bang these out. All right, Saints at Bears. Go ahead, Kenny.
Outright upset Bears. Don't know what you're going to get from Michael Thomas. I'm going the Bears at home in the upset.
Beelan.
Saints.
I'm with you, Beelan. Couldn't say it more. Carson.
There's something about the Bears, man. I don't know. They're just a really gritty team this year. Obviously, I hope they lose because that helps the Lions win. But I'm going to go Bears in a close one.
Travis.
Sausage versus gumbo. Give me Nolans.
There we go. I love it. Next game, we got the Chargers against my Denver Broncos, Beelan. Start us off, baby.
Chargers, man. Come on. You Rocky Mountain voices are coming by Thanksgiving. Let's go.
Kenny, what do you got?
I can't believe I'm saying this, John. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm taking the Broncos in an outright upset.
That a boy.
The Chargers are not the Chiefs.
No.
The Chargers are not the Chiefs. And to be getting 3 at home to the Chargers, I got to take the Broncos here. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm taking the Broncos.
I'm with you too, Mr. Kirkpatrick. Thank you. I'm going Broncos. Carson.
I tell you what, man, this is a tough call because in my league we start 2 quarterbacks. So I got Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady, and Justin Herbert. And Brady and Herbert killed it last week. So I'm wondering if I bench Herbert and put Jackson in or I leave Herbert in. So I'm going to go with the Broncos in this one. I'm gonna by a field goal.
Okay.
Broncos with a field goal.
By the way, Travis, our guy Manny DeLima saying, "Let's go Broncos." Thank you, Mr. Manny and Mr. Manny. Travis. Mr. Manny, we got a big one next week, Manny. Big one next week.
Oh, man. Drew Lock? No, not the answer. I'm going with Chargers here. Herbert is the answer.
Yeah,
Start Herbert over Jackson. Jackson got a horrible match.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's fly through these, Mr. Kirkpatrick. Here we
Hurry
go.
up. I got dinner.
All right. Me too. Us too. Titans, Bengals.
Titans.
Everybody on the Titans?
Mike Vrabel, baby.
Titans.
Everybody's on the Titans?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Titans in a close one.
I'm just going to put the game up. We'll talk through it. Patriots against the Bills.
Buffalo.
I'm going Buffalo, too. I have no confidence. They got smoked last week against Jimmy Garoppolo. That's disgraceful. Buffalo.
My quick response to that, I'm taking the Patriots. If there's any, there better not be any debate if the Patriots get beat bad by the Bills, if it was Brady or Belichick. Because if Belichick goes out 3 weeks in a row and gets blown out, then I don't want to hear ever Bill Belichick in the mentioning of Brady and Belichick ever again on our show.
2008.
I'm going to take the Patriots here.
Argument.
Patriots
2008, huge argument.
Buffalo was losing to the Jets last week 10-0.
Guys, here's your woodshed of the weekend. Aaron Rodgers against fraud Kirk Cousins. Lay it. They get destroyed.
Just lay it down.
Destroyed.
It's over.
Green Bay beats them by 21
Anybody
points.
Disagree?
Anybody disagree?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Packers might be the best team in the league.
2 more, and Manny's
Possibly.
listening, and here's what we're doing. Manny, I picked your Cowboys on FanDuel for the past 4 weeks. They screwed me, and screwed me. They're not screwing me this week. You know why? Because I'm going against them. Philly beats them up on Sunday night. I'm going Philly.
Don, did I hear him correctly? He's been betting Dallas.
Yes. Once
Dallas.
Dak has been out, I
Now
got
the
Dallas.
secret's out. Now the secret's out why he doesn't like Dak.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Anybody going Dallas?
You see it all. You see it's all coming together now.
Oh yeah.
Every week, more fraud status. Every week.
Manny's saying, hate to say it, but Philly. Yeah, I think Philly. I think Philly.
I think Philly rolls, unfortunately.
Travis Carson.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles with this one. I will say though, you know what I'm doing? I'm giving the Patriots another chance. I'm going an upset with the Patriots.
I'll mark that down so Kurt has it since.
Listen, I love Cam Newton, but Cam Newton couldn't throw. Travis, he couldn't throw a 7-yard slant last week. It was disgraceful.
Very.
Disgraceful.
His form's getting. It reminds me when Tebow learned how to throw and then forgot how to throw.
Okay, and the last game, Kenny's New York Giants against Mr. Brady Monday night. Beelan, start us off.
I got my dinner I have to go into. I'm taking the Bucks in a landslide by like 20 points. And have a good night, guys, because I gotta go eat some steak.
Have a good night, because I'm going to have my
steak. Hopefully,
I'm going to have my famous Jenny Hoop soup in 30 seconds. So I'm going Tampa Bay also. Carson.
All right, guys, take care.
See you later, Beelan.
Good dinner.
Yeah, Tampa. Sorry, Kenny, and a big one.
Yeah, that's good. Fair enough.
What do you got?
I got the Giants because they have covered every game except the 49ers game this week. Do I think they're going to win? No, I'd be really, 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 really surprised if they win. But I got a feeling something silly is going to happen. Not Brady throwing interceptions, but maybe a fumble. You know, you might get Fournette or Ronald Jones fumbling the ball, a turnover here or there. Giants keep it close. I'm going to take those points.
Okay, Manny's saying 31-10 Philly for his the Dallas game. I think something like that. You know, I just think Philly's going to explode with Wentz, and that's it. So
can you give me 3 minutes?
No, hurry up! I got my soup going. You got
3 minutes.
3
Not a
seconds.
soup you got, Coach Kurt. I'm about to eat some soup too.
Yeah, 3 seconds.
It's not. We lost Thielen, but each week I want to do a couple of player fun props. So we'll breeze through these. I found a fun prop on FanDuel. Tua Tagliavola's
Good night.
first
Well, hold up,
touchdown.
Kenny. Good night, Manny. Love it, Manny. Let's go, baby.
These are actual bets to make on FanDuel. Tua Tagliavola's first touchdown pass will be. I'll name a couple guys, and you just tell me who you would do. Devontae Parker, who's questionable.
Oh.
Myles Gaskin, Preston Williams,
Yes.
Mike Gesicki.
No,
State of field.
Mike Gesicki, because I need him, and he loves the
Preston.
tight ends.
I'm going Preston. Gesicki is done. He's donezo.
I'll throw the curveball out there. I'll say Gaskin because he's a pass catching running back.
Not bad.
Who would you say, Carson?
Yeah, if he plays, I'm going Devontae Parker.
I would be careful there. He is the favorite, plus 340. They're all big odds.
Yeah.
Plus 340 for Parker, plus 350 for Gesicki, 600 for Gaskin, and 550 for Williams. I'd be careful with Parker. He's questionable, and I don't know. He's going to have Ramsey on him, apparently.
Okay, next one.
Last one I got, Kurt.
Last
Last one I got. They did this one. We did this one on our show, Rookie of the Year. Regular season MVP. I'll throw a couple names out there. You got Russell Wilson, Mahomes, Rodgers, Brady, Lamar Jackson, or Field. Could be anybody else.
I'm taking the field because I think I'm going Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray is officially on here at plus 1,700.
I like Kyler Murray.
Nope. No,
I like Aaron Rodgers.
That's a possibility. I'm going
You guys
with
got-
the guy who hasn't won it yet, and no, it's not Kyler Murray.
Russell.
I'm going Russell Wilson. That's
He's the
Yeah, I'm with
favorite at
Travis
plus
on this one.
100.
Yeah, Russell
Like
Wilson's having a breakout year. I'm going with Travis Russell Wilson. I think he's going to win it.
I'm going to throw two names real quick and we'll get off, Kurt. Brady is plus 1,300.
That's worth it. It's a shot. It's worth it.
And I'm going to give you a real long shot that may be worth it. Ryan Tannehill is plus 3,000.
Yeah, I like that too. I put him on put him on number 5 last night on my.
I'm going to do these each week. I'll throw a couple fun player props out there for us to add to the show. We'll do this each and every week.
Okay.
It'll be a little fun.
Boys, we're gonna go eat. I know I'm gonna get my soup.
Saturday, you're doing a special, right, on Ticket Time? You want to just mention that?
Oh, yeah. Really quick, we're doing a Saturday night Halloween special on Ticket Time. It's going to be a great time. We're doing a bunch of giveaways. I'm going to be dressed up as Mr. Monopoly on the show, so it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, a little spoiler for those who haven't been. Subscribe to Carson's Ticket Time. There's a Monopoly game on there, so Mr. Monopoly is always on.
Yeah, I jumped in a little last night.
Yeah,
always
I saw
a
it.
great
Thanks,
time. Always a great time watching. Fun
Check
times.
that out on Saturday. And then I think next week we're going to be talking about maybe doing another future sponsor on Ticket Time Live.
Sweet. Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good, boys. Enjoy your night. Enjoy the game. And we'll go from there.
Yep,
Always a pleasure, guys.
Soon. Thanks,
Guys, have a good night. Enjoy that soup, Coach Kurt.
I definitely will. Hoops' soup is legit.
And that rhymes. Hoops is soup. I like that.
We'll see you guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night.